Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well. I know it's Friday and Yogi's here for a little bit yogi time with you. I know Fridays are back, okay, for us. And for the longest time, I've been covering classes, not covering. I have my own classes in the evenings as well. So, no streams for, I don't know, maybe for the last at least 6, 7 months, something like that, for a little bit. But we're back. I'm trying to reduce my evening teaching activities and keep it during the daytime. I think I'm just happier that way. But the Monday classes probably are still going to go on for a little bit, but I'll keep you updated. Okay, hopefully we can free up the evening so we get to stitch more together. And yes, we're back today, Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. And I hope you're doing well and ready for a little bit of a stitching time yogi. Okay, so today, I'm going for this piece. I sort of, rummaging through my whips and trying to figure out which one, which whip I'm going to be stitching. And I just touched this piece and instantly I knew this is this is it for me today. And it's so gorgeous and velvety. You sometimes forget, you focus on stitching and when you have quite a lot of projects like I do, and you forget certain pieces and how beautiful they are. And this one, definitely, by touching it, just looking at it, look at the stitches, I realize how much I love this piece. And this is a piece artwork that's created by Ciro Marchetti. It's one of the old craft room, the old kitchen, the old toy room, toy shop, whatever. He's got 3 or 4 going on there. And this is one of them. I absolutely love it. Let me show you the marker. Have a look. There's something so feminine about it and just so rich and so soft about it. And of course, the dresses probably indicate this is maybe, who knows, maybe the person the owner of this craft room is a male. I don't know. But there's just something very feminine, very sort of loving about this piece. And have a look at that little kitten. Well, maybe it's not a kitten, it's a little cat, a tabby cat, just under the sewing machine there. It's got everything going on with those beautiful dresses and little kitty and a lot of craft material and even a couple of green birds on the upper left there as well. And just today, I've been looking at this piece of artwork, this one for ages, multiple years. And for the first time, I noticed, guys, look at the upper right there. There are 2 beautiful hats. I never noticed that before. There are 2 hats on the upper right on the shelf at the back. And just full of surprises. I just love it. And I'm quite a knitter as well, so a lot of knitting material here as well. It's just wonderful. And this piece I started, I think is beginning of last year. I'm pretty sure, because I did this piece after I kind of went on a journey with 10 stitches. I tried 10 stitches for the first time last year. And after that, I have some leftover fabric that's, slightly higher count, sort of a lower count rather. And I decided to experiment with this piece. So currently, only this piece is, on this fabric count and the thread of number, and I'll go through that with you a little bit. And have a look at my chart here. So I started from upper left and nice and slow, have a look at the formation of the stitches. So I've been stitching this piece in a very specific way and for very good reasons because of the spec of this piece. I'm stitching on 22 count fabric and with 2 strands as well. So the stitches are very, very kind of packed together. So in order to work with that without creating problem with the stitches, I've been doing a very specific kind of, gemma stitches or color flow alternating in between. So let me show you my progress right now. 4.5, 6, That is the current progression. And by the way, this one is a mini piece. Okay, this is mini. So I've got 88 colors here, and the total number of stitches, I never looked at this. It's is it over 300? No, 33,000. So in comparison to other pieces, it's quite modest, isn't it? And so here we go. I am going to start a new sprint. Okay, chat, I'm doing it. Okay, and let's have a look. So this counter is going to capture every single stitch that I'll be doing today. And I've been on a roll, you know, guys. If you've been following Yogi for the last, you know, few days or a couple of weeks, you know, I'm getting faster. I'm just hyping it too much. Today's going to be, you know, 10 stitches or something like that. And but I've been you know, stitching a little bit faster, but who knows? This piece is a little bit different. So let's see how it goes. Okay, one stitch at a time. That's all we're doing here. So who cares if it's, you know, 20 stitches or 2,000? And I don't care. I'm sure you don't either. So let's have a look. Who have I got here in the chat with me in this beautiful Friday? And we have Jojo. Jojo's the first to report to the chat, says hello. Bonus stitching day, beautiful end of the week. I know, it's wonderful to be able to stitch it together at end of the week, isn't it, for most of you? If you're not lucky enough to retire already and or taking breaks. And yes, wonderful. Great to see you, Jojo. And Rajao is also here as well. Hello. Happy Friday. Stitching everyone. Happy Friday to you, Rajao. And Sola is also here reporting to the chat. Says, hello, folks. I'll be right with you when I finish my resistance bands routine. Oh, that's very fancy. Sola is on the journey to fitness, okay, and she's going to be doing backflip and all sorts of handstands and stuff for Solar. Wonderful. And Travis is here as well. Hello. And Brittany. Oh, Brittany's off today. Brittany says, I'm off work and Yogi is streaming. I know. And just for you, Brittany. And Serena is here as well. Great to see you. 4 hands, seriously. And evening, everyone, she says. And great to see you, Serena. And hope you're nice and awake at the moment for at least a couple of hours with Yogi. And I will come back and say hello to all of you. Let's start stitching, shall we? So, as I say, this piece is 22 counts here. So I think only this piece and maybe one other piece. Which piece am I stitching? Maybe one of the 10 stitches. So this one is different because for 22 counts, I'm stitching full cross with 2 strands as well. So can you imagine? The stitches are very, very full, but you can see it is so beautiful. It's so nice to touch though. And really, really nice and smooth. And it's like tapestry. It's just gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. And so today, I'm going to follow my previous methods. I'm doing either some form of Gemma's method, the original, or color flow. So I'm going Gemma's method all the way with this because I want to keep the stitches connected, so it makes it easier to stitch. Otherwise, if I start to do cross country, at some point I have to jam my needle through between stitches, and that's when it gets difficult. I tried it. I didn't last for half a block. I think I tried color completion, 1 block at a time. Oh, I gave up pretty quickly. It just doesn't work. So this piece requires a little bit of patience, and but it's working really, really well. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's worth it. And see, my little bird is there already. So let's start stitching. So in terms of where I'm going to focus today, I'm kind of going to leave it to my instinct. Just pick the location that feels inviting and look at the chart, the chart itself as well. Some parts are quite confetti, you know, anywhere that has sort of items connected together, quite confetti, particularly cushion, a little bit here as well, quite confetti. So I have to be kind of make my decision as I move forward and do what's workable. So instantly, this thread is kind of calling me already. So I'm going to look at the chart. I'm going to bring on the work mode here, okay? And guys, let me know what you're working on as usual. I'm very curious about what you're working on today and on this Friday as well. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So, oh yes, and by the way, I'm stitching with CXC. So the threads are even fuller, okay? And very fluffy threads here. And let me see if I can turn this way a little bit. And we also have Clara, hello. And Grace as well. Grace is coming with 2 hands. And both feet as well. Well done, Grace. Very nice. I have my suspicions, with all the, stitches with like 4 or 5 hands. 2 of them are probably their feet, okay? So they try to help to speed up their stitching and by using their little feet as well. Well done, Grace there. And Busy Mum reporting from the work club. And on Friday, oh yes, Friday evening. Friday is also still a work day, of course. And great to see you, Busy Mum. And we also have Daria. Daria says, hello, Yogi and Stitchy friend. Happy Stitchy Day. Indeed, every day is. And, we kind of I stayed up quite late last night as well, chatting with you. And we just have endless things to talk about. Let me just switch my needle here. That needle doesn't like me for some reason. So CXC and this color, let me find it on my chart, okay? It's that one. So very nice. So it's 3031 I'm stitching. And only 1 stitch. So I want every single stitch to be attached to other stitches. So if there's 1 stitch, it's 1 stitch. That's just the way it is. Let's have a look. I'm going to park over here. Beautiful. So I'm not going necessarily strictly diagonal. I'm going to just, it's a kind of a combo between Gemma stitches 1.0 and 2.0. I'm improvising, but in principle, Gemma's method. Lovely. 1 cleared. That one, I'm not ready yet, am I? Okay. Let's have a look. I'm going to move on to this one. Already, I'm switching colors. Kelly quotes plus says, hello everyone. I've got a usable needle for beading today. Potentially usable needle. I don't know what that means. But great to see you, Kelly. And Janine, oh, hello, Janine. Right on time here, Janine says, hello, Yogi. Or we'll have to get my motorcycle from the shop when they call, but otherwise I'll be here. Oh yes, I think you probably mentioned something about motorcycle. I'm scared of getting on motorcycles. Not for me. I don't know how to ride, okay, so that's first of all. But also, once upon a time when I was a student, I actually dated a guy who was a biker, an Italian guy, and I've been on the back of big motorcycles a few times, and I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. So not for me. But Janine, be safe, okay? And who else have we got here? And Suzanne. Hello, Suzanne. Good to see you. Spinning Yarn Designs. Her channel name. Alyssa. Hello. And Brittany's here as well. 3 hands. Very cryptic. So 2 hands and one foot. Great to see you, Brittany. And Suki. Hello, Suki. One hand. Oh, thank God for that. And we have Travis here as well. Hello, hello. I'm working on the seafood. Seafood stitching continues. Let me just. So with this spec, 22 counts, 2/2. If you follow this method, it's quite doable. It's when you start to deviate and start to create floating stitches, it starts to get quite hairy. Okay, so let me just mark this one here. So I think sometimes when we talk about, this combination of stitches, full stitches or 10 stitches, does it work for any particular fabric count? I think it hinges on the stitching method as well. You can make it work if you can commit to it. So with this piece, pretty much I have to be, fully committed to stitching this way. Otherwise, I'm going to be in trouble. Here, I'm going to do this one. So it's more color flow, actually. So as long as one side is open, I'm good. Okay. And guys, do not forget, tomorrow is our marathon, okay? Our summer marathon. And we're going to welcome the summer officially with Christmas stitching. That's what we're doing tomorrow. So we're starting, what time do we start? Yes, tomorrow, 2 p.m. UK time. So you guys have to work out. Okay, so it's a Greenwich time, 2 p.m. We're going to start, and we're going to stitch all the way to midnight UK time as well. So 10 hours, okay? This is how we roll. And if you never joined marathon before, you're in for a treat. We're just here hanging out, stitching for 10 hours. Needles, hello, great to see you. And Amanda is here in the chat as well. And Natty, hello, hello. Hopefully today you're in a better mood. And Lizzie is here as well, says hello, everyone. And Ash says hello, everyone, here with my dad, who got back into cross stitch. Oh, how wonderful. Welcome back, Dad. Wow, that's so wonderful to be able to stitch with your dad or with your mom. I'm so envious. My dad wouldn't put up with that if he was still here. But my dad was really good with sewing, though. This is the weird thing, because we had a family sewing machine for years and years, and my dad was always the one using it. He wasn't into craft or anything, but he was very good with repairing things. A lot of dads, they're just great with, they want to fix things. And my dad was like that. So my dad, he was the handyman for everything in the house, and including repairing garments. Okay, I am going to pick this color. I'm going to add one more. Oh yes, I do have one over here already. Let me try to find it correctly, because I've got quite a long distance here open for me to stitch at any point here. So I have to be very mindful. It's very easy to pick the wrong spot. So I've got this one here, and I'm trying to find the next block. Oh, this one, actually. I think it is. Hang on. No. What am I doing here? No. I am making it too complicated. I'm going to stick with just a smaller area. Otherwise, I'm going to get very lost. Okay, I am going to pick this one here. 918. 918. Because sometimes you can probably get too ambitious. 918. And I get lost if I'm not careful. Suzanne says, Yogi, Alex said she likes you the best. Oh, Alex, man with taste. Yes, I bet you love your mom best. Yes, but thank you so much. And Alex, I know you're a very good boy. You're very grown up now. And be nice to your mom. I bet you are. Eat your food properly. Listen to Yogi, okay? And Miss Mischief, hello. Good evening. And we have Mandy is here as well. Mandy Moran. I know it's male stitchers are spoiled in the stitching world because they're just so welcome, and we're so curious and interested in their stitching, isn't it? So we have Travis here, and we have Steve here, and now we have Ash's dad. Hello. Here we go. I mean, Ash's dad can join in the chat as well, can't you? I'm sure you've got an account. You can join in the chat. I'd love to know what you're stitching. All right then. Right here. Alex. Oh, Alyssa says, I heard Alex say Yogi is his favorite. I know he's a man with fine taste. Very promising, Alex. And Amanda says, I'll probably only be here for a little. We're driving to another state to visit a friend, to go to a conference, and only about an hour away. Safe driving, Amanda. It's wonderful for you to say hello. And I hope you enjoy whatever event that you're attending there. And with this piece, the kind of feedback for when you when you're stitching is very different from the other ones. It's just amazing that by switching the fabric count and the way you're stitching, it just feels like a very different experience. With this one, I feel like it almost feels like embroidery rather than cross stitching, if you know what I mean. It's wonderful. Brittany says, since we're doing Ciro today, as in Ciro Marchetti, I pulled out my husband's birth chart. Oh, I remember, Brittany. I remember you mentioning it. It's like a customized birth chart, but I can't remember whether it was your birth chart or your husband's. Yes. I think what Brittany did, I remember we talked about this ages and ages ago. So Brittany's referring to the charting for birth charts. Brittany says, FYI, the last round of these are open now, so they're gone and they'll be permanently retired. So grab one if you want. Does that mean, so it's based on, is this some sort of tarot card thingy? So I think what Brittany did, if I remember, correctly, that you can go to Ciro Marchetti. Is it Ciro Marchetti the in person that he did it? Like, or has he got a team or something that does it? So I think what he can do is to compose a piece of artwork based on your birth chart. I have no idea how that works, but it's a personalized, unique chart for you, isn't it? As in stitching chart. Kelly says, I like the warm colors in this piece. It's very, very rich indeed. And Monique, hello, says, hello, Yogi. Mary, TGIF. I don't know what that means. I'm sure I'm missing something. Yes, great to see you, Monique. Okay, let me park this one under here. I try not to travel too far because I'm gonna just get lost. Is it here? Yes. Indeed. All right, that's correct. And the texture of the stitches, it feels like a rug more than a stitch piece because it's just so dense in a really good way. Rachel, hello, happy Friday indeed. Travis, I love it. Travis said, in Pokemon terms, Yogi has evolved into Yomari. I know Pokemons, they change like different stages they've got, don't they? Do they ever regress though? Do they go into like a Yomari mode and go back to very, very slow Yogi? It seems to be the case for me. That's hilarious. Yes. Yes, I'm a Pokemon. I just evolve, you know, and also it's random. It's a little bit like which superhero that turn into superhero mode but have no control over when that happens. That would be me. That would be me. Because I have no idea when I'm going to turn into Yomari. Okay, so I've got one stitch here. You know, maybe it's through training because a lot when you just when you gain the superpower for the first time, you don't know how to use it properly, do you? What happened to Rachel? Oh, Rachel says it's been a really stressful week. I have not worked out since Monday afternoon, just have not felt up to it. Oh dear, is it work related? I hope everything's okay. You've got all the kitties, beautiful kitties, therapy there. Just give them a little hug. We feel better already. And we're here with you, okay? We keep you company. Love Drunk, hello. And Ace is here as well. Mullen Dyke says hello from Kansas City. Hello, Mullen, welcome. Let me just keep track of where I am so I don't get lost. I just love the sensation of stitching with these ones. The feedback is so good. And Travis is working on the seafood stitching, the eyeball of a goldfish Pokemon called Goldeen. I think I know because is it the older one? Because when I was playing Pokemon Go centuries ago, I remember there was a goldfish one that appear quite frequently. Normally they appear around the ponds. You know, who actually played Pokemon Go when it was really popular? You know, the version of Pokemon on mobile that kind of superimposed on your environment. And I remember there was kind of a logic to everything. So fish type, you know, fish related Pokemons, they appear around water. So, you know, around your park and everything, if you have pond and stuff like that, you can find those fish ones more frequently. Oh, everybody was playing it. It was crazy. Let me have a look. Where am I here? So 1, 2, 3, 4. How come I didn't mark it? That's very strange. Let me have a look. Yes. Clara is working on the Sun, Hate 2026. Beautiful piece. Lizzie says, is it 25 counts? No, it's 22. 22. So it's, you know, in terms of the size of the stitches, not that different from 25. They're a little bit larger, of course, but I'm stitching with 2 strands. Full cross. Michelle, hello, Michelle. Good afternoon, evening to you. And Mandy is doing the new Exhibit 7 of the Lola Crow sow drinking water. I have no idea. I'm not familiar with it. Lola Crow. It's a sow as well. And also with this method, with this piece, definitely do not do, what is it? Danish method. Because the stitches are so full. If you do one leg, it's very easy to miss the next leg. It's just not safe to do that. Suzanne says, I think I'll work on my pain-free craft. Is it? Oh, no, painting fairy kit. Yes, we were talking about their kits yesterday. I mean, sometimes we go through rough days or maybe rough week for whatever reason. But it's nice, you know, once you share that with a whole bunch of people, you probably feel slightly better, right? It doesn't solve the problems, you know, whatever challenges you have necessarily, but you probably feel you're understood because we understand when that happens. Cindy, hello, Cindy. Serena is working on glistening wings. Yes, that's the Hey Sao, isn't it? Alisa is going to be, oh, so it's going to be Alisa's first marathon. Yes, it's great fun. It's great fun. I think last year, I can't remember how many we did, maybe 4-ish last year. And this year, we've only done 2 so far. We did a New Year one. Well, technically it's last year's, but and we did one for Stitches So Beautiful. Um, okay, and I'm going to park it here. And Matthew. Oh, hello, Matthew. Sorry, I just saw your comment here, guys. This is Asha's dad, Matthew. Welcome, Matthew. Well, Travis is overjoyed. Travis is not a gentleman stitcher to hang out. And yes, we'd love to know what you were stitching, Matthew. Yes. Yes, it's Matt. Matt is okay, right? I wasn't being too familiar. Let me see. Maybe I can pick this one. Oh, this is tricky. Yes, I'm trying not to duplicate too many threads of the same color, but it's like a chess game. It's a little bit tricky. Kelly says, I've only been listening to Yogi because I have to take my glasses off to stitch over 2 on even weave 28 and for sure with beads. Right, so is it easier to take the glasses off? Does that mean you can get closer? So depending on what your eye condition is. Right, so 28 counts over 2 on even weave. Glasses are off. It's serious now for Kelly. All right, I'm gonna just take it down here. Gonna be a little bit adventurous. Oh, Mischief says, thank God, thank goodness it's Friday. Yes. I think as a yoga teacher, I probably, have less of that because every day is working day potentially. And a lot of times Fridays and weekends, they're busier, a lot busier. But I used to work in, in a sort of not 9 to 5, regular times and at offices. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Yes, Lisa, it's more like a tapestry. So full, these stitches. And those are colors as well. It looks like you're stitching like some sort of Persian carpet rug, It feels like that. Brittany says, once you send the info to Michelle. Michelle. Oh, so Michelle is Ciro Marchetti's daughter. So his daughter does the star alignment. She's an astronomer in the chart. And he charts it. All right. So he must have some sort of pre-defined elements that you can just kind of put together for individuals. That's very very unusual, well, very unique, innovative way of creating charts. And that chart is unique to you, isn't it? Okay, I am going to just do a very quick yogi move because I'm going to take the stitches up there. I know, slightly unconventional. But you know, I've been a little bit naughty. I kind of created a little tunnel here. I think one stitch is okay, but when it gets to two stitches, technically, it's still allowed in my mind, but it gets a little bit trickier to stitch. So I'll probably try to avoid that. Matt says I'm working on a phases of the moon cross stitch. I used to teach astronomy. That's amazing. Someone else was working on a piece like that. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember the name of stitches. Sincere apologies. If that's you, raise your hand. Is it black and white? And it's got like some sort of moon image and some sort of stats like text and stuff. I remember someone else is stitching a piece like that. I think it's monochrome, isn't it? Travis says Pokemon don't. Oh, the evolution. So if you evolve into the second phase or third phase, you don't regress. So what am I then, Travis? Because sometimes I come back to slow stitching yogi, you know? I have no control over my superpower. Not yet. Oh, Alisa explains. Alisa says, that's because you're just a baby Yomari, but you learn to control it. I'm glad to hear that, Alisa. You know, eventually it's going to be a grown-up Yomari, okay? Wait for me. I'm going to mutate and evolve, whatever it is. I'll be able to control my superpower. Very nice. And 3858. 3858. Travis says Digimon, on the other hand, revert to a previous stage when they run out of energy. Oh, so I'm more like Digimon. I want to be Pokemon. It's more legit. What's Digimon anyway? Digimon is like a knockoff version of Pokemon, is it? All right, let me find my spot. Right here. I love loop stitch. Oh, so Matt was playing Pokemon. I think everybody was playing Pokemon Go at that time. You know that company, you know, they were probably so shocked how successful they suddenly became. And they started hiring tons and tons of people during that period. I remember it was in the summertime when everybody was out and about and everybody was playing it. It was just like a, you know, crazy kind of frenzy. You know, you can always spot someone playing Pokemon Go from far away because they just look at their phone, they're looking at the surrounding, they're not looking at anything at all. But the thing is, they're expanding so fast that, you know, I'm sure technology companies, game companies, they should always know that if your game or your product suddenly become super popular, it's not going to last for a long time. They should know that. They should know that. But unfortunately, it's very hard to think that way. So what happened was they expanded so fast worldwide, and within months, I think by winter time, people would kind of stop playing it. I certainly did. I think I play for the entire summer, and then by maybe December, I kind of gradually stop playing it. Let me just do a yogi move here. And the company was growing too fast. It's a hard lesson to learn, I think. Is it here? Oh dear. Over here. Alisa says, I just stitch Pokemon, never watched or played of any games, really. So why are you a fan? Because most people who love Pokemons probably love I think it's anime as well, isn't it? Anime or games. I think it started off as a game and then turned into anime. And then, all sorts of things. I am going to do another one here. Ash says going to a festival tonight. Exciting. Which one are you going? It's a music festival. Serena says glad to back in time for marathon tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. Kelly says I have progressive lenses, so yes, close up works. Close up work does go better without glasses. Interesting. So if you look on the screen, it's all blurry. So yogi's blurry right now. Where am I exactly? Oh, I've done this one. And I can go up there. I could get lost, so I need to be very careful. I could get lost very easily here. Maybe I need to restrict myself to work within an area, because I can see myself totally just stitching the wrong spot. Where am I? Hello. 1, 2. Okay, I've got that one. 1 stitch. It doesn't. I don't know what I've done. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's supposed to be here. Improvising. Okay. And also, if I ever miss a stitch, okay, this piece is not really reverse stitchable because the stitches are so tight. I think if I try to pull the thread back, I'm probably going to destroy the threads. So, it's just one of those things. I have to fudge all the way. Kezat, hello. Sybil is here as well. Hello. Oh, Brittany. No, Michelle. Michelle is not. Michelle. Okay, hang on. So Michelle at Haight is actually the one charting for the birth chart. Okay, let me get this right, just in case you get confused. So Ciro Marchetti, the daughter, is doing the charting, and Ciro Marchetti Brittany, let me know if I got it right in the end, okay? So Ciro Marchetti, the artist of this piece, okay, his daughter is, specialist in the charting, birth charts, etc. So she does the charting, and Ciro Marchetti would do the artwork, right? And then they would send it to Michelle from Heaven and Earth, and Michelle does the charting. But that chart is yours only, right? No one else can get it. Right, to Michelle, and sometimes it takes 4 months. Yes, I can imagine that because it's a bespoke piece, isn't it? So hopefully I got it correctly. Elisa say you will evolve into Komari fire. Okay, so Komari is already the superpower yogi, right? But on top of that, I can turn into Yogi fire. Oh dear, I love that name. It's a little bit like Kindle fire, which is not very powerful. Amazon fire. Is it Kindle fire? Not very fiery. All right, so this one, I'm going to just one stitch. Yomari fire, I know. Lona, hello, great to see you. Travis explains, okay, Digimon are digital creatures that live in another world. So Pokemons, they're organic, are they? And a Digimon, well, as the name suggests, is a digital version. I've never played Digimon of any kind. I just feel like they're knockoff version of Pokemon, like copycat Pokemon. Oh, Janine loves Digimon. Are they pretty much just working the same way, but one is more like robots, like machines? Lizzie says, what exactly is a yogi move? A yogi move is when I have to take my thread, carry over, do a pin stitch like this. Not very pretty, okay? But I do that because, not to end thread, it's normally when I have to take my thread to another location, which involves overlapping the carry thread over stitch area. And I don't want to do that because it creates like a floating thread at the back. And so I take the thread away and do a pin first and then take it back to the second location. That's a yogi move. All right, this one, let me have a look. Is it even in the correct location? Let me see. 1, 2, 2 stitch. Okay. All right, Travis says Digimon is 7 young kids get stuck into the digital world and they have to help their digital partners to save it so they can get back to the real world. Of course, of course. Yes, saving the world is a recurring theme for computer games. I wonder why that is. It's all about saving the world. The world is about to collapse. It's going to be apocalypse. It's going to turn into, the world is going to destroy by evil force. We have to save it. Yes, of course. Oh, this bit is very, 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 very busy. In fact, I am going to take it down here. Alyssa, so are you referring to Pokemon? So it's interesting because Alyssa is not particularly sort of a Pokemon fan or, Pokemon anime fan, but she says, I showed the kid to my mom and I told her how much I love all the colors, and she then got my family together to purchase it for me for Christmas. And I'm becoming a fan as I stitch it. Wow, that's kind of a reverse because Travis is a big fan of Pokemon to start with. I think most people, stitch Pokemon, they're probably already a fan of some kind. But I love the fact that you just love the chart and images as they are, and then decide to go on such an epic project. One, two, and it is good fun, isn't it? It's like so much going on a single chart. Let me take a sip of my coffee here. Ash says Ash is going to a heritage festival, a small town on Route 66. Wow, heritage festival. I don't know what's involved. Serena says, I never played Pokemon. Yes, I think the only Pokemon game I played is Pokemon Go. And I think there was another version I played before. That was on a console. I can't remember which one that was, a few years back. But I can't really say that I'm such a big fan as such. I enjoy Pokemon Go when it was going on, but that was about it. Michelle says, I heard of kids being run over by cars playing Pokemon Go. They were so focused on the screens and not paying attention to traffic. I can totally believe that. I can totally believe that. And I'm pretty sure there was at least one incident that people found a body. Seriously, because there was one feature of the game that is kind of treasure hunt. Not just find particular Pokemon. They guide you to find kind of bonus gift and stuff like that. I don't know whether you remember. And it's kind of it's kind of the hints you have to find with GPS, etc. And they found a body on where they are, which is totally possible because they're basically going to corners of parks and gardeners in their environment. They probably don't normally go, right? So, and that's where, for criminals, that's the best, their locations, they're perfect for hiding bodies. And lo and behold, these people looking for Pokemons and bonus gifts, they were, finding the bodies. That was so weird. 918. The criminals, they were gutted. 918. And definitely, it's very easy to bump into things when you focus on capturing Pokemons. And very often, because there were tournaments as well, I don't know whether you remember, that there are locations in your surrounding, like a school, or sometimes like, I don't know, some sort of landmark, and they would host kind of tournaments there. I can't remember what they're called. And you can see people just gathering there, standing, holding a phone. It was such a strange time. And Lindsay, hello, Lindsay. And Lindsay is stitching Once Upon a Fairy Tale, finally. Oh, is it a new project? 25 counts. Well done. It's an epic project. Really beautiful and colorful by Amy Stewart. one over here. It's a little bit tricky. I mean, this is when I wish Saga, this app I'm using, I wish Saga had very similar feature to Pattern Keeper. Pattern Keeper, in order to mark stitches, you have to pre-select them, don't you? And that's quite handy when you have a lot of stitches around. It kind of allows you to highlight, to focus on the very stitches you are stitching. Whereas Saga, you can't do that. And the upside with Saga is there's one less step that you need to do. You just need to drag your fingers, over the stitches. They're marked. But it's sometimes very hard to figure out which ones you're actually stitching right now. Oh, I've got it right, have I? Brittany, yes. So let's say I need to buy a bottle of champagne when bed what blows up. He's supposed to go supernova soon. I have no idea what you're talking about, Sola. No clue. Brittany says Pokemons are pocket monsters. Digimons are digital monsters. What do you mean? Yeah, pocket monsters. Does that mean they're very small? But they're not very small though. They're not pocket size, are they? Matthew says, but Pokemon can be put inside of a Pokemon balls, which are digital. So are they really organic? Can you put Pokemon back into a ball? Oh, I suppose that's how you capture them. So they stay inside the ball, and yeah, I don't know what is that process called? Is it if it's not digital, it's magical. I know. Some things cannot be explained. And see you later, Matt. Travis being the expert of Pokemon says Pokemons are organic. Digion are digital. Digimon are digital until they come to the real world. It can get really confusing. Yes, I'm confused. Travis, you're right. Whatever works. I'm good. And Travis says, Pokemon, you can call a Pokemon trainer. Okay, the person that's throwing the Pokemons, they're trainers. And Digimon, you're called Digi, destined. Oh, that's a bit of a, yes, that's profound. But the thing is, though, if Yogi is transitioning into Yomari, right? Who is training Yogi, though? Who's my trainer? That's my question. Who's my trainer? 1, 2, 3. And okay, so wow, Travis is well versed in the Pokemon world. Yes, it's proper. I think that's probably more common, you know, for people who are stitching Pokemon pieces. They're already big fans of the game. Suzanne says, I ordered a painting fairy kit of a solar moon. So a Sailor Moon. Oh, is that like anime? Sailor Moon image. Never watched it and no idea about it, but it looked really pretty. Oh, that's possible too. Sailor Moon. Yes, it rings a bell. All right, so this one is part incorrectly. Let me move it quickly. All right, Solar, so no problem. I was reading it, I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. So this one, interesting. This one, I am going to move it over here. 1, 2. Oh dear, where am I exactly? 1, 2, 3 from the right. 1, 2, 3, that's correct. Because there's a lot of browns here, so it's just, you know, quite tricky. Different shades of brown. Kezat is asking, what time does the marathon start tomorrow? 2 p.m. UK time. So depending on where you are, you can work out the time conversion. So 2 p.m. UK time, we're starting. One, 2, 3. Ginny says Omari must be your trainer. Do you mean Komari? Or Omari? It's a new character. Yes, Komari. Yes, Komari. So Komari is my trainer, right? Training Yomari. Jinin says, speaking of Komari, I wonder if she's doing the max colors of Library of Cats because I'm doing it now. It's pretty confetti heavy. Oh, she definitely is. She's going max of everything max. She's doing double cat library, double supersize, and max colors for sure. No doubt about that. Travis says, I watched Sailor Moon when I was younger. I was quite surprised because over here, they don't play a lot of sort of Japanese anime type. Sometimes Channel 4 maybe. I have not watched regular channels for a long time, but I remember when I was a student, there was some anime, sort of more grown up anime, like, more sort of not cartoons. They're more like anime story type, like movies being played late at night. But when I went to France, I remember I was really surprised. They will play American and sort of Japanese anime at breakfast time. I remember being in a hotel and I turned on the TV. There was some sort of I can't remember what it was. Some sort of superhero type anime. They're playing at breakfast time, like regular, you know, regular cartoons, like Disney cartoon type thing. So I think it's probably more popular in France. Michelle says, are you starting your Christmas chart that you designed? Oh, Michelle, I wish. It's not quite ready yet. Remember, when I first started creating my own artwork, I wanted to get the advent calendar piece finished in time. And I decided that's not really possible because it is really time consuming. And so I decided to create a second piece. It's supposed to be smaller and it is kind of less complex in terms of, the artwork. But still, I'm grossly underestimating the time is required to create a single piece. So I was hoping to get it ready for our marathon, but I decided I'm going to just work on it. I'm hoping to finish it maybe in 2 to 3 weeks time. So, then we can do another session to celebrate that. And if some of you want to start with it, with me together, you could as well. And but it's not going to happen for at least 2 to 3 weeks time. I'm very close. I'm polishing off and do final bits, elements of the piece. But there's going to be a process of ironing everything out. Just looking at all the elements, the composition and everything. But it will be done in a few weeks, and I will have a new start then. But tomorrow I'm stitching my Christmas house, which I started last year, and I'm going to start working on that. I have some new strategy for that piece. So, but yes, my charts they will be ready. The first one anyway will be ready hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks time. And my advent calendar, I'm aiming at hopefully by this September. So 2 months before Christmas, then I can start that piece as well. Because with our Christmas stitching, it's not going to be a fixed day solve, but we are going to, or I am going to stitch it from time to time throughout the remaining of the year till Christmas. So that's the plan. So it's going well. It's going well, my work. But I just want to give it sufficient time. I don't want to rush it, Okay, that one. Elisa says Kumar is currently working on the left panel of the double supersize max color. Yes, she's starting from the left, but I think she has worked out the full width of the left side because she wanted. I'm pretty much sure. I'm pretty sure that was her. She wanted to check the charts actually joined together properly. Daria. Daria says it's about 7 a.m. Saturday morning here. Yes, if you Google, if you want to work out the marathon start time, all you have to do is Google, you just go, your local time. Well, actually go Greenwich time, 2 p.m., and then type in your local time zone. It will give you conversion, like time differences. Travis says they censor a lot of stuff out to make it more appropriate for younger audience. Yes, I think there are different genres of anime, isn't there? Some of them more sort of kids friendly, and a lot of grown-up animes that, like Akira, the only ones that I kind of know. And I think is it another one called Ghost Train? I've never seen it, but it's kind of mentioned a lot. But they're more like anime based movies. They're very grown up. They're not really for, sort of consumption for very young kids. They can be very violent, very strange. Daria says it's about 7 a.m. Saturday morning here in Australia. So its marathon will start about 11 p.m. Yes, I'm trying to think. Yes, very often we have Australian stitchers joining us in the beginning of the marathon because it's over there quite late. And then they stitch for a little bit, they go to bed. But when they wake up, we're still here. So the second round. Okay. This one over here. Travis, yes. Oh, so that's what Sailor Moon is about. Say, Travis is giving an example of maybe content is not totally appropriate for young kids. In Sailor Moon, two of the Sailor Guardians are lesbian lovers. Really? So there are more than one Sailor Moon. It's like a whole group of them, is it? I'm not too sure. I never really follow the anime. Ah, so they modified that into who? And hang on. So two of them are lesbian lovers. One of them is also cross-dresser. There's a lot going on there. What do you mean cross-dresser? So they dress like a bloke? The mystery deepens with superheroes. Wow. Michelle says, I'm sure you'll be fantastic if our support. Thank you so much, Michelle. You're always so supportive. I mean, this is the first time I'm creating artwork for charts. And also, this is the first time I've been so focused on creating artwork, even though I've been drawing since I was a kid, as long as I can remember. And your encouragement is really, really important. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. One, two. Oh, have I done it? No. Have I stitched? Where am I? Hello, help. One, two. Okay. So two here. And okay, I know where I am now. I'm parking here. And I'm trying to get my Etsy shop set up as well. It's so strange. I've got an Etsy shop. I created a new account a while ago with the channel name, right? And it doesn't give me option to turn it into like a shop. It doesn't let me change the shop name. Anyone knows? It's so stupid. Because it should be really, really simple. I just wanted to change, because by default, the name for Etsy shop is kind of gibberish. And you want to change it into something that sounds like a normal name. But I have not figured out how to do it. Lona says, I finished stitching my tiny poisonous frog last night. I need to press it and then turn it into a needle miter. That is so clever. I'd love to see it, Lona. You have to post it on our Facebook group. So Lona is creating a needle miter by stitching a little frog, cross-stitch frog. That's very creative. One, two. Monique. Well, who knows? I mean, kids are very curious, and they just kind of take things as they are. You know, they probably don't judge or try to. They probably don't even think it's strange if they're shown to children. You know, they kind of go, well, that's just the way it is. Lona is working on Christmas House 2 tomorrow as well. Excellent. Join me. And I'm thinking whether I should focus on this area. So okay, one more strand of 918. Travis says they have come out with a new version on Netflix called Sailor Moon Crystal. I think Sailor Moon is kind of quite old animation, isn't it? It's been around for a long, long time because the style feels very retro. So they try to revive it, I bet. And see you later, Kezat. Travis says, Sailor as Saturn dresses as a man with facial hair. That's quite entertaining, actually. It's quite funny. I wouldn't mind that if I was a kid. Just go across with chest hair. Well, not everybody has chest hair, right? Some men do, some men don't. But everybody has facial hair. All men have facial hair, right? Michelle says, I was not given the gift of drawing, so I have to rely on AI. I have so many ideas. My hands and brains will not cooperate. Oh, are you creating charts as well, Michelle? I do remember you were asking some questions regarding charting. That's interesting. I always wonder, because with AI, you probably have limited control. Well, I suppose with AI is probably the speed because you are not physically drawing them, so you can generate them quickly. But to get them to be how you want it is, I'm guessing, it's probably quite frustrating. Because with drawing, I can draw whatever I want and put them wherever I want. But if you're relying on AI, then you probably don't know what it's going to do necessarily, right? I'm just guessing, because I have used the free version of AI, ChatGPT. My God, it's like a lottery ticket to get anything to your liking. Kind of mark this one as well. See you later, Lizzie. And Michelle says, I just asked Google how to change my shop name in Etsy. Says you can change it up to 5 times without having to get help from Etsy. I can't even change it 1 time. Yes. I don't know how that works, because it's supposed to give you an option to change the gibberish to human names. I'll need to Google and figure out. I have not changed it, so it's a default name, like gibberish. Okay, 3 stitches here. Busy Mom says, Yogi, do you have the Etsy shop app? If you do, there's a button at the bottom with 3 lines, and there go to shop basics. You can change the name. Oh, I have not tried the app. I do have the app, but I have not tried to change it via the app. I'll try that. I actually did it on their website, and there are elements you can edit, but the name, I couldn't find the edit button. So that was my confusion. But I'll try the app, see if I have better luck. So thank you, Busy Mom. Michelle says, I have 2 charts in the works, and one I use actual photos that we took. The other one is total AI. Both are fun. Yes. And Michelle, are you looking to put them on your shops, or is it for a sort of personal project? Okay. Those 3 are done. Oh, Lona, the hospice for Mom. Is that for Mom? So it's here to visit Lona and the mum. I hope everything goes well. Michelle says the Etsy app is the main tool I use for my shop. Excellent. So I'll try the app to see if it would give me that option. I went to the website and I couldn't find a way to do it. Next one. So it's way over here. Let me find it. Oh dear, it's totally different. I'm looking at here. It's a surgery, or hairdresser. like the this is the parting. Oh dear, this is getting tangled a little bit. Natty says, I love seeing stitches up close, is satisfying. Yeah, same here. I'm always slightly frustrated when I watch Komari, because Komari, you can see the big picture, which is great. But I love to see little stitches, like, you know, the details of the stitches. And I was hoping that they would zoom in a little bit more. I think Gemma, you know, Gemma stitches, it's quite zoomed in. She's stitching 14 count, and so the stitches are nice and big, and it's so fun to watch. And same thing with Blue Suit Stitch Showroom, which is one of my favorites as well. You can see the stitches really nice and close. Wow, this bit is a little bit tricky. So even with this method, you know, some stitches you do have to work your needle. Sure. But it's worth it because you get really, really full coverage. You absolutely cannot see the fabric whatsoever. With this one, I think I'm going to park. Do I want to park? No, actually, I'm going to end it. And I'm quite pleased the cushion, the first cushion on the left is pretty much done because this bit was so confetti. No joke. No joke. See you later, Michelle. So let me have a look. Natty says, sorry if you answered this already, but what will you be stitching tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm stitching Christmas house too. So I don't know whether Natty was here last year. So for last year, from October last year, we kicked off our Christmas stitching. So 2 months before Christmas, and this was the piece I started. So it's by what's the who's the person that created this piece? Steve, is it Steve Crisp? Yes, Steve Crisp is the name of the artist, and it's charted by Artisy. But this chart is also being charted by Stitches So Beautiful recently. So if for any reason you want to, why don't I show the chart? Yes, I showed that a couple of streams before. Let me just show you one more time. So if you're wondering, or maybe, you know, maybe it's not too late to grab it. If you already have fabric and kits, you can start with me. But let me find a markup, okay? It's by Steve Crisp, and it's a whimsical piece. It's slightly retro. That's what I love about it. It feels like it's artwork created a while back. So let me show you here. Steve Crisp. Yes, this is it. So this version is charged by Artisy, which that's what I've got, and this is the large version. If you go to Artisy and look up Christmas house, there, I think there are 4 different houses, 4 different very similar Christmas theme houses, and they're all kind of maybe around different era. And I think this one, I'm guessing, is probably around 80s, just looking at the cars. Maybe early 80s, I don't know. Maybe a little bit before. And there are ones that look a little bit slightly older in time, kind of maybe the 50s or something. So this one is one of the 4. And this is a large version. They've got a regular size as well. But I think large version, you get better definition of everything. And this is really whimsical, really cute. It's like a dollhouse view of the Christmas house, isn't it? You can look through the windows and the doors and see what everybody's doing, which is quite fun. I never tried dollhouse. I love, my dream would be actually to build a dollhouse. I just never really got to it because you have to, that's quite involved. Solar says, how do you spell Blue Sue's channel? It's basically color blue and SSU in one word. Blue, SSU, and Stitcher Showroom. So that's the full channel name. So this is what I'm stitching tomorrow, and as I said, Stitch is so beautiful. They also have a version released recently for Christmas time. I bet, for Christmas stitching. So it's up to you which one you want to choose. But I just think this piece is so fun to do. Yes, Travis is the panda version, and thank you, Suzanne, for spelling Blue Sue. Is it double SU rather than double S rather than SW? Kristen Frederick says, I went shrifting today and found cloths of 10 count, 12 by 18, 10 count. Oh, I know 9 counts and 11 counts. I've never seen 10 counts. That's interesting. Are you going to use it for any project? It's always fun because with shops like that, like charity shops, like vintage shops, you never know what you're going to find because it's totally random. And to be honest, my local charity shops, I never seen any craft related stuff. A lot of clothing, shoes, and that kind of stuff. I've never seen like DMC, like a crate of DMC floss or anything like that. Let me pick the next one. So this one over here. That. Or should I go for this one? I have no idea. 1 and 2. It doesn't match my fabric. Why? Okay, so that one is done, but that one doesn't exist. Okay. I need to be a little bit mindful with marking my past threads because they don't always match. Yes, it's double SU Blue Sue. And I love watching the way she stitched, because she's just totally cool as cucumber, just dealing with all the past threads. For most people, that will probably drive them, you know, a little bit off the bend. But she's just so cool about it. Just go, hey, this is how I roll. And then I am going to park in the next one. Hello, I'm Donna. Great to see you. Oh, so Kristen is thinking about getting the cloth turned into a bookmark. So 12 by 18 is it centimeters or inches? Because it's quite a large bookmark otherwise. And Christina says, I saw two quarter size of Ziploc bags of DMC floss. Oh, I wish we had treasures like that here. You know, sometimes I sort of, you know, take a trip into my local charity shops. There's nothing there. It's just some old shoes, some clothing. Never come across a single sort of craft items. I don't know. I have no idea how popular this type of stitching is here in the UK, or even just cross stitching in general, you know. Actually no idea. There are magazines and books and stuff, so I think there are, you know, it's kind of one of the more popular crafts that people do. But full coverage is very different, isn't it? Full coverage is another level. Oh dear, what's going on here? 3 stitches. And then, where am I exactly? Here. Okay, I've got that one. And why do I have 2 threads over here? I have no idea. I'll work it out. Suzanne says, Yogi, I found that you can translate her closed caption. Oh, as in Bluetooth. Her closed caption, if you watch on a browser and have it auto-translate into English, there's a lot of reason why she does things. Totally recommend. She very much, with her method. Right, so Suzanne is referring to a Bluetooth. Yes, it's a bit of a problem because I remember you guys mentioned that she stitches block by block, and I went back and watched a little bit more. I didn't see her doing block by block as such. I think she's got like a focal point that's around a block, but she will go beyond blocks. So I'm not sure whether that is block by block stitching. But I think a lot of it probably is lost in translation for me, because without sort of some verbal explanation, some of what she's doing it's up for interpretation. But I'll definitely give it a go to see if. But she doesn't talk normally. She does tutorial videos from time to time. But most of her Stitch With Me videos, they're just silent, which is fine, but sometimes you kind of want to know what she's doing. I'll go back and give it a try. So Christina is going to cut them into 2x6 bookmarks. That's very clever. Yes, stitched bookmarks is really lovely, provided you read books. Because when do you use the bookmarks? If you're like me, you know, it's like everything is digital. Jojo says, I have found many full sealed kits at local Goodwill charity shop. If it passes this sniff test, I will rehome it. Oh, that I'm so envious. I wish I could find treasures like that at my local charity shop. I never come across sort of stitching kits and stuff like that. I would have loved it. I'll probably go a lot more frequently if that was the case. And you would have thought, you know, Britain, I mean, you know, over here, everything's old. So you would have thought there would be a lot of old stitching kits and stuff like that. I've never come across it. Or maybe the charity shop thinking that they're not very popular and don't put them out. Do you think that's possible as well? Because they mostly display, you know, clothing related things and some, you know, ornaments, that kind of stuff. But they probably don't think people are going to buy them. Travis, I know. I'm always trying to figure out where I am, okay? But I always find it, you know? I get lost all the time, but I always find my way, I think. Most of the time, most of the time. I think it's probably a better idea to kind of stick around the same area rather than trying to go up and down, because I get very, very lost. One stitch. Suzanne says she does block by block, but there's 3 in a row. Oh, really? Like 3 in a row, as in side by side, like that, like 3 in a row? Because I kind of pay quite a lot of attention in terms of where she move her stitches. Sometimes it felt like she kind of goes from one side and then extend it horizontally, but she would go up if she's stitching bottom up. I just, you know, just from observing her stitching, I didn't really think, well, it just didn't look like block by block or even 3 in the rows. I have to go back and watch it more carefully, but it just feels like she's flowing toward a direction, mostly sideways, you know, horizontally. It's a mystery. So if it's 3 blocks at a time, is this still categorized as block by block though? Because block by block for me is 1 block at a time. That's my interpretation of block by block. When you have 3 blocks at a time, is that still block by block? I wonder, or maybe a different name. Heather says, hello, I'm late to a class. I know, Heather. I expect full report, okay? You can submit your report whenever you're ready. I need to know. be here on time for the class, okay? And particularly tomorrow, we have marathon. So we're doing the warm-up here. Warm up the body, warm up the little joints, and little feet, if you're stitching with your feet. 3776. 3776. Three, 776. Here we go. All right, she's got a playlist for tutorial. Yes, I should go back and do a little bit of homework, because I'm probably kind of butchering her method. But the thing is, though, for me, it's more about taking the elements that I really like about it, the laid back, you know, kind of. I don't care if I have like a really bushy kind of part threads happening. I'm just relaxed. I just stitch one stitch at a time, and she would literally just move the threads away and stitch somewhere that's just in between all the past threads, and she just doesn't care. That's just remarkable. Most of us would be going, oh no, what am I doing? But not Blue Sue. Okay, Blue Sue, she loves it. Here we go. Crafty Tabby Cat, welcome. Heather says, I love audiobooks. I can stitch and listen at the same time. Same here. I don't have audiobooks as such, but I listen to a lot of speech-based videos, like things that I don't have to necessarily look up and watch. I can just listen to it. So I watch a lot of trial videos, being a true crime fan, you know, and a lot of trials, a lot of documentary type of content, a lot of podcast type of content. So you can just kind of just do whatever you're doing, and without having to, you know, look up and down all the time. And I'm kind of, you know, wanting our streams to be a little bit like that as well, even though it's quite satisfying watching, you know, the stitching as well. But you do that from time to time. But I like to make it in a way that even when you're doing other things, like you're driving, if you're walking, if you're, you know, stitching, where you have to concentrate, you can still get, you know, all the conversation in a chat. So I make a point of reading out the full comments, and also who says what, because it's important, right? Because it's a conversation. And so if you listen on a regular basis, you probably get to know, you know, the stitches quite well in time. You know, if I go, Janine doesn't eat kale. Oh, you know, that's Janine. All right, I'm going to concentrate on the coat hanger here for a little bit. Really interested in this area right now. Okay, single stitch. Thank you very much. Ninja stitch 3328. 3328. Must be a really important. What? It's a pink? Out of nowhere. Just one stitch. Just must be so important, like a defining stitch. Just one stitch with the pink. Salmony pink. Jojo says, I'm ready for the marathon, stitching a Christmas stocking by my for my daughter, and bought lovely ice blue. Oh, lovely ice blue even weave. Oh, so you're stitching on blue even weave. How lovely. So is it fully covered or is it partially covered? Is that like a stocking shape? Right. Suzanne says vertical, like a three blocks like this at a time. 3 blocks high. Is that what she's doing though? I'm pretty sure I've seen her stitching, for instance, focusing on this area, right? She will part up, she will part or extend her stitches to the side. I'm pretty sure I've seen her stitching like that. So I'm really surprised that she's stitching like this. You know what I mean? Because if you're stitching 3 blocks at a time, okay, let's say if this is what Blue Suit's doing, wouldn't she aim for completion of the 3 blocks before she moves on? Because that's not what she's doing though. She's flowing stitches, maybe from left to right, okay, or whichever direction. Maybe 3 block high at a time, but she's not sticking with the three blocks. She's kind of, are you saying she's basically picking stitches or colors from within the 3 blocks but I'm pretty sure she flow her stitches outwards and up and down. I maybe not down, but if she's flowing from bottom up, she's pretty much sticking with that direction. But her stitches could go sideways, up, and diagonal. So it didn't look like block stitching to me, like a block by block stitching. One stitch of this pink, it's right here. Right here. Just one stitch. The defining stitch. Just one. And that's why I was so confused. You and Joyce both said she's stitching block by block. And Suzanne says she wants to cover her backs, so very methodical. Yes, I definitely need to go in a deep dive and figure out what she's doing here exactly. I know she does a lot of Danish method, and I think that helps with the back as well. 3328, 3328. Gonna pop it back, just one stitch. With this, this piece, I don't have to do anything special with the ending because the stitches are so close together. I can pretty much just do a Komari style, just leave the tail and it stays there. Suzanne says not even close to color flow. She also works horizontally. I know she's not doing color flow because she does loose stitches, so she's definitely not doing gemmas. Suzanne says she also works horizontally, 3 blocks vertically, and she will sneak back. Are we talking about 3 blocks, physical blocks at a time, horizontally or vertically, or are we talking about 3 by 3 blocks? Because she's definitely the way she flow her stitches definitely isn't the way that I understand block by block stitching. Because block by block stitching, you can do it a couple ways, right? You can do color completion. You do the 3 blocks or whatever number of blocks, you complete that color and then end, or maybe you park. That's not what she's doing, so that's why I'm very confused. Sola says to me, stitching 3 to 4 blocks at a time is limited cross country. That's how I stitch. Yes, so like you're quite right. So within whatever number of blocks, you could do color completion, meaning you stitch all the stitches within that of that color at a time within that area, and then do it one by one, right? Whichever order that you do, you can do min to max, max to mins, or random. But you can also do, as you just described, mini cross country. You can start from the top or bottom, wherever. Just pick the colors, random colors, and do as many as you wish. You know, maybe until your thread runs out or until the next stitch is too far away. And then you end it or park or wherever. So there are different ways of doing, but block by block stitching for me is when you have the blocks as your completion area that's you're focusing on. So when what she's doing is she would, if she's doing block by block, it's not a conventional way that we think about, because I'm pretty sure she would stitch outside the blocks and sometimes upwards or sideways. For me, that doesn't look block by block to me. So Elisa says, are we going to do little finger yoga? Oh, little finger yoga. That's an interesting one. Do you mean hand yoga? we can probably oh, for tomorrow, you mean, for marathon. We normally do the whole body yoga. We stand up and we do some moves. And but we can incorporate hands as well as we do so. That's a very nice idea because we're using our little hands for stitching. And we normally do at least 2 yoga breaks. And cup of, chocolate coffee breaks as well. Suzanne says, Blue Sue is very clever about how her threads are. I bet she's very cunning. And it must be something that she has thought out really thoroughly because she's been stitching the same way for years since I discovered her. When I discovered her, some of her content was probably already a few years old. So she's been stitching very similar method for a long time. Maybe some modification, but yes, Suzanne, but if you watch her stitching without her explanation, would you interpret that as block stitching though? That's now how, my interpretation of it. Maybe she can call it whatever she wants. But, if you start to flow out of the area like that, it doesn't look very blocky anymore. Suzanne says, I'm fascinated by her method because it's so neat. I know, it looks so chaotic, but she knows exactly what she's doing. And that's why I'm fascinated. That's why she's so calm about it. And she doesn't try to not do that. If it feels chaotic, we try to simplify or change our method, but she doesn't. She loves that. Okay, I'm going to move over here because it's calling me. I am going to pick this color here. So I've got a few stitches here. Okay, I'm going to introduce a new thread of 3031. Heather says, our library has thousands of audiobooks to choose from, and they're free, and I get them for 21 days. Can you get audiobooks from library? In what form? How do you get audiobooks from libraries? Can you download from them via their website? How does that work? Because audiobooks, normally you get it directly to your devices. Suzanne says she does go outside the blocks. She does a lot. So that's why it doesn't look blocky to me. Heather says, I might be late tomorrow. It's hubby's birthday and our daughter's coming over. Ah, yes, you're forgiven. Family comes first. Birthday comes first. And happy birthday to your hubby, definitely in advance. And definitely when you have a moment, come join us. Just say hello. And even better if you can do some stitching with us. Okay, I'm going to park it over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. And Suzanne, has she ever explained why she's using like a pen to lift her part threads? She always has like a stylus kind of pen. I don't think it's a real pen, or maybe it is. But she always uses it, because I just use needle because I'm holding a needle already. But she will make a point of picking up that pen and then tease the thread that she wants to stitch. I find that fascinating. Why do you have to do that? She's a mystery. One stitch of 902. Jojo says, yes, stocking shape, and the one is not full coverage, kitten with ornaments and pine tree. Oh, classic. Yes, definitely. Oh, I'm so glad, Suzanne, you were fascinated by her as well. Yes, I think for some stitchers, her stitching is probably too chaotic looking, but it's really orderly. And I'm fascinated by her methods as well. And I'm kind of pick bits and pieces of the elements I like to do it. But I think it's only fair if I go back and do proper homework, to figure out what she's doing exactly. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 down. Okay. She's very unique. Suzanne says, Blue Sue, she wants to cover the corners, then works out the edge of the blocks, then work either up or down till the next one she's done with the first block. So that's the part that I have not really understood. So overall, are you talking about like for the entire piece, she's going around the edges and work toward the center? Is that what we're talking about? Because it's harder to know if you just watch her stitch with me, because stitch with me, you are working in a very small area and it's harder to see the big picture in terms of, how she moves around the canvas. And she does, yeah, she does do the, when Blue Sue parks, she does the first leg first. I tried that, didn't work for me. My brain just cannot understand it. It just keep sort of, reading it incorrectly. So that one is probably, out of my menu. But I would like to look at how she approaches the whole piece as, as a whole. Right, I'm going to move over here. I do have this one. I'm going to do, oh, it's very confetti here. Okay, brace yourself, brace yourself. Warning, warning. So this part is very, let me see if I can zoom in even more, because there's a lot going on here, a lot going on. Just look at these threads, it's so pretty. It does feel like, it feels almost like I'm knitting with stitching. It just like, it's got a kind of a knitted kind of feel to it. I love it. You know, I have to confess, I nearly gave up on this piece in the beginning. I was, stitching this way, and for the background, the red stitches here, they were a little bit easier, even though they're color changes, but backgrounds is generally easier to do. And when it got to the cushion, seriously, I was giving up. I thought, well, maybe this spec is just not going to work, because first of all, you have to be so methodic with your stitches, and you have to commit to a certain way of stitching for the entire piece. And I thought about it, and I look at the result. It's just gorgeous. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. And I'm so glad I stayed with it. Because for a while, I thought, well, maybe 2 strands is too much. Lona says chocolate time. Sorry, I was a little bit behind the chat. Yes, it's chocolate time, isn't it? Yes, Rajao as well. Sorry about that. Yes, I only read the messages now. Let's do a little bit of a... I'm switching my position to under the little green birdie here. And let's have a bit of chocolate. Totally forgot about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And so I can catch up with the chat as well. Lovely. Let me just part this thread here. So this is my next thread. And let me know what you're snacking today, okay? Tomorrow also have an abundance of snacks, okay, for tomorrow. We're here for 10 hours. So let's get ready, okay? All the all the energy food. So today, yes, Black Forest. Oh, so this is Black Forest week. I still have a big block here left. Chocolate time, guys. And let me have a look. And Rachel is back as well. And Lona is back. Is everything okay, Lona? Everything went well, I hope. Mom is good. You're good. Suzanne says, Lucy will go out of the blocks if it feels necessary. She goes out of the block a lot. That's why it didn't look like she's stitching block by block. Cheers, everyone. It smells really good. Cherry. Black Forest. Lynn, hello, Lynn. Lynn says, hi, Yogi, and all the stitchers. There's a Cynthia. Nice to see you on Friday, Yogi. Just left Molly with her apple. Yes, so Molly's going to be Molly the horse, okay? It's Lynn's horse. So she's going to be happy for a little bit. Does she like apple? Because if it doesn't like it, she's going to get stroppy again. She's going to just appear mysteriously on your by your window, which is scary to have a horse just appear outside the window. Great to see you, Lynn. And Lona says, my library using an app called Libby. So is that how you borrow digital books or digital audiobooks? Well, time has moved on since the last time I went to my local library. Like ages and ages ago. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Right, Suzanne says, so we're just talking about Blue Suit Stitch showroom. It's just I have trouble remembering the name. She says she used the stylus. So it's it's not a regular pen. It's a stylus. She used the stylus to mark on the table she has to write there next to her. It's interesting, first of all, why would you use the stylus to mark stitches, right? Because most people use fingers. So this is what she does. Okay, let me demonstrate. I'm going to use a real pen, which is not wise. She would, because for me, if I'm working with pass thread, I've got a needle already. So if I'm going to pick up a thread, I just use my needle and just tease, that the strands or strands up. And I have my thread here ready for me. But for Blue Sue, apparently she works with the tablet like we all do, but she uses, instead of her fingers, she uses a stylus, which is unusual to start with. I use my stylus for drawing. Okay, so let me pick up my drawing pen. I just want to demonstrate, and so many things she does is so unique. So she would use a pen like this. So this is my drawing pen, okay, for my artwork. And she would, instead of using needle, she would pick up a stylus and she would tease her threads like this and pick up. So when she does that, she would need to put the stylus back to the side, pick up her needle and do it. So instead of just using the needle, she uses the stylus to pick up her threads every single time. So it's fascinating. Just use your fingers. It's easier. I think that's what the tablets is designed to be used. Heather says in Canada, there's an app called Libby. Oh, Lona just mentioned that. It's associated with numerous libraries, and I can choose books and download it from here. Oh, that's lovely. I must check. I never thought about the option of digital download to borrow books, because in my mind, I'm still stuck with people going to the library, check in with a library card, and then say, hey, I want to borrow this book. I totally, overlook the fact that, yes, everything's on the app. I must check my local library. I'd love to borrow some books from them if they do it, because I have quite a nice looking, quite a modern looking library on top of my road. It was built probably about 5-6 years ago. They torn down the old building and built a kind of purpose-built building. On the ground floor is a quite really nice looking library, which I have never been, and shame on me. And above the building, the top part of the building, they turn them into apartments, like modern ones. And but I walk past every day, but I never walked in. I should. I need to check whether they use any kind of digital download. It would be great, because I read digital books, and the reason why I don't go to libraries, because I thought, well, I don't read physical books anymore, so. And I will hate to lose the books, And digital downloads, great, because they're not restricted to the number of copies. The same book, they can, lend them to 100, people at the same time. That's fantastic. I love it. I'm going to look up my local library. Another piece of chocolate. Lindsay says, I'm loving the haze charting. Unlike my Witcher piece. Are you not loving that piece anymore, Lindsay? Lindsay, my Witcher piece, there's a lot of sections that are very solid in one color. On Once Upon Fairy Tale. Finally. Okay, so you're comparing. So charts, interesting. Because different charts charted by different companies, they feel totally different. And I'm so used to heaven and earth way of charting, which is very kind of subtle in transitions. A lot of color changes, but you get very soft blended effect. So as you're stitching, even for mini or regular colors, which is 90 colors, you rarely come across a whole patch of area that's just one color. Rarely. Normally there's a blend. Like, look at this. This is mostly burgundy. And the transition, a lot of charts, they probably transition from black and maybe lighter shade and a lighter shade of burgundy. But this is very blended, as you can see. All the stitches here, you can see the intersection. So this is more of a heaven and earth way of charting. And I think for Gecko Rouge, I only have one piece from them, so I can't speak for all of them. But for my Gecko Rouge, the craft carpet, it's a kind of a blend. They have areas like this, extremely confetti, but they have block stitching, probably a lot more frequent than Heaven and Earth. So I think different companies, you know, they can produce very, very different kind of charts. So depends on artwork. I think looking at your Witcher, it's a very kind of soft focus, you know, quite a soft piece. Maybe blending colors would give it a better effect. Otherwise, it's going to look. What you don't want is to be able to see the kind of definition of lines, unless it's what is intended, right? Otherwise, you just want to have a blended effect of the face and the hair, etc. So Lindsay actually prefers Heaven and Earth. Yes, just enjoy the different style of charts. I think, you know, they probably, after stitching Heaven and Earth pieces for a while, you probably find it refreshing with the Witcher. You know, you have more sort of solid colors. Suzanne says also check out Fine Art Stitch. I have actually. It's from Blue Suze. I don't know whether they're her own chart, or I don't know whether she's selling them, or whether that's where she got them from. Yes, they were fine art pieces. Clara, hello. Rachel says, I'm up in the kitten room for a night of kitten stitch desensitization. It's like, yes, it's training session. The kittens are more interested in the cord for the laptop than my, and my magnifying light, however. Yes, they've got to be so curious. Let me come back to stitching. Let me just grab one more piece of chocolate. There you go. They've got to be so curious right now. Elisa says, I'm glad you stay with it too, Yogis. It looks beautiful. I know. Now I'm starting to get it, you know, like what I need to do for this piece, for this result. And I'm enjoying it. You know, I love a little bit of a color flow and Gemma's method anyway. And, you know, for this piece, I'm happy to stay with the stitching method. It's just, you know, really beautiful. Lovely. Good. Let me come back. And maybe zoom a way in so you can appreciate all the stitches here. The color is just so fantastic. Here we go. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, look at that. So I'm going to focus on this part. Little birdie. And Rachel has provided a kitten update video as well. Oh, definitely we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Yes. They're probably growing up really fast as well at this stage. So currently they're about 7 weeks old. They're going to be double the size in a couple months for sure. Okay, one stitch, and I am going to park down here in this block. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. Lovely. Lona says they brought Mom a mask for her breathing treatment. It works much better for her. Oh, that's lovely. It's so wonderful for them to, you know, actually come all the way here to you for Mum. That's very, very nice. Very, very nice. Next one is 902. So a little bit more color changes for this area. Lona says Libby let you view digital books, magazines, audiobooks. So you can download them, and do you have to return them after a time limit? Is that how it works? Because if they're digital, there's no sort of intrinsic need to return other than, you don't own the books. But with physical books, you have to return so other people can have it. And next one, 779, just right here. Suzanne says, I try using my stylus on my tablet, but it sucks. It just feels like an extra thing you have to do, unless you're drawing. So with drawing, yes, I need a pen for it. But if you're just doing regular things, there's no reason you need to pick up a pen and do it. But you know what? I do remember Komari when she first started using digital app, because she was a paper girl forever. And finally, she gave in. Maybe about 4 years ago, she finally transitioned to pattern keeper. And I remember because she was so used to using a pen or pencil to mark her chart, she insisted on using her stylist, because she would just used to using a pen to mark stitches. But eventually, she probably figured out that you don't have to. You don't need to do that. It's one extra thing to do. And I think now she uses her fingers. Okay, so this one, I'm not going to park it. I'm gonna end it. So I don't create too much build-up underneath. If it's too far to park, I rather end the thread. Because, the more build-up underneath, the harder it is to stitch. Very nice. And, oh dear. Have I? Yes. So this part looks a little bit iffy. Let me have a look. So, this bit, have a look. 2 stitches. So there are a couple of stitches I have not done. Okay, I need to mark these ones. I don't think they're marked yet. Why does it look different? 1, 2. Okay, there are a few stitches I have not marked. Okay, so I'm going to mark them. For some reason, I did not mark them. That's why. Okay, that's better. 3371, just 1 stitch. Clara says, I love using my stylus to block out my stitches, so why not using it to go through my threads? She's being her and what she feels comfortable doing. Yes, I know, she must feels like that is a better thing to do. But for tablets, it just seems redundant to, well, in my view anyway, to use a pen as well, unless you're doing something very intricate, that you need sort of a lot of details. And I find that fascinating. Lindsay says The Witcher was from the charting creations, but there was no colors. There were like 5 to 6 together. There was all confetti of grays. Do you not love Gira's grey hair? The silver fox. 1, 2. Oh, there's one already. Dear, dear. In that case, there's only one stitch. Okay, hang on. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. Hello, Ginny. Welcome back. Ginny says they did a great job on my motorcycle. What kind of motorbike you've got? Is it like a Harley? What's the other brand? There's a Harley Davidson that a lot of people have, like heavy bikes. There's another one. I can't remember the name now. That's really popular as well. Oh, I cannot remember. And there's a little bit of a rivalry between two different brands, not that I know any difference. I know they're really big and loud. Lynn says, Yogi, when I did my mom's portrait, there was 10 different browns in her hair. Yes. Well, you know, things have shades. And it's not just the color of the hair, it's lighting as well. So different reflection. And it creates different colors. Mom probably doesn't have different shades of brown. Or probably she does. Who knows? Crafty Tabby, I think she's referring to the library digital download. She says, I think they can license only a few copies. So yes, you have to return them, and sometimes you have to wait for an available copy. That is very true. That is very true, yes. Copyright is not free. It's not unlimited. That's very, very true. Yes, so they may have license for, let's say, 10 copies at a time. Yes, that's a very good point. Very good point. So you do have to return after a while. And also it's a discipline for people borrowing the content as well. It's not, you know, it's not your book. So you can't keep it for too long. And yes, that's very interesting. I'll definitely look into my local library. It's a different time now, you know? It's 8:30. I'm gonna just stitch it and end it. Heather says Libby takes the books back after a time limit, or you can return them early if you like. Right, just like old-fashioned physical books. But it's very convenient. You don't have to go down to your library. And also you get to have audiobooks, because a lot of people prefer audiobooks, right? But I think the tricky thing about audiobooks is you have to like the voice of the person reading it. I much prefer if it's read by the author. You know, I'm a lot more forgiving when it comes to author's voice, reading their own books. But if it's read by an actor or the professional reader, if I don't like their voice, it's game over. I can't listen to it. I just can't. Oh, Lindsay's got a little girl. Lindsay says, exciting news. My little girl is almost 5 months old and she giggles for the first time. For the first time today for her nana. Oh, lovely. Haven't had one since I can't wait for the noise regularly. So she never giggled before. Wow. Because some babies, they just giggle for no reason since they're very young. That's fantastic because everything they do is milestones now. Just like Rachel's little kittens. It's like everything, every little thing they do. Oh, the first time they use the litter tray. The first time they, do this and that and the other. That being a mom, isn't it? And congratulations, Lindsay. Oh, Lindsay referring to the Gira Witcher 3 piece, saying, I need pink in my live yogi, not grey. Well, you chose that piece yourself, Lindsay. You can't blame anybody, but I get it. I think it reminds me, this makes me smile, because it reminds me of Suzanne, right? Suzanne last year, end of last year, she was trying to finish her homework with 2025 Heaven and Earth Soul. And she was stitching a very sophisticated piece, like a waterfall and some birds and stuff like that. But the colors are a little bit limited. And lo and behold, when she finished that piece, Suzanne, she actually started new pieces. Every single piece is just explosion of different colors. It's just like, that's enough for subtlety. Give me some colors. I know, it happens. I think, really grown-up pieces, they're great. But the colors can be challenging sometimes. And yes, this is just the beginning, Lindsay. You're going to add a lot of colorful pieces, I'm sure. With this one, I am going to end it because I can't find anywhere to park it properly. 3858. And also, when it comes to confetti, it's very similar as well. I remember when I started Little Cake Shop, I love the piece, love Little Cake Shop, 3858. A lot of colors, a lot of color changes. But at some point, I just got so fatigued about color changes. I switched to Grandmom's craft room or loft or whatever. It's very sort of brownish, gray, earthy tone. Sometimes you just need to, switch to a completely different project to reset, Lona says Honda Goldwing. Oh, I don't recognize that. Are they other? Solar says Iron Horse. Is that the brand as well? I think I'll recognize it when I hear it. I remember there was a rivalry brand when I was going out with this bloke. There would be some other bikers. They have that brand as well, very similar to Harley Davidson, but they're two different kind of camps. I will recognize it when I hear the name, but I don't think it's Iron Horse. It's not Honda. Janine says I have Honda Rebel 500, but the handlebars were a little too far away and making my back hurt. I'm so sure. Are those ones you have to hunch forward, literally do a forward fold to ride? That is so hardcore. Yes, I don't know how you can sort of ride safely like that. It's just like bicycles. Bicycles, they have racing bicycles that you have to lean forward and the handlebars is kind of like curved downwards. I would never dream of riding anything like that. You know, I have Brompton now, which is quite upright as well. But in the past, when I had big bikes, I had Dutch bikes. You know, I have bikes probably like Suzanne is riding in Sweden, and it's very sort of ergonomically really sound. You can just sit up, and I cannot imagine bicycle any other way. I just can't. 301. Lona says Kawasaki. Oh, is that a brand? No, it's not that. I'm sure there's another one. There's another one. Bikers, think. Those of you who know motorbikes, heavy bikes. Lona says I have a Kawasaki Vulcan. I have no idea. Vulcan Nomad 1500. Oh my God, it's a long name. And Harley Davidson Electric Glide. Lona, you're a biker as well. We have many people who know bikes. Wow. And it's quite pricey keeping a bike as well. It's like keeping a horse in a stable. My God. A lot of work and money involved. And it's kind of, I think if you're into bikes, it's kind of, you know, hobby and obsession as well. No one is having those bikes for functional reasons. It's not like they have to go to work, so they go like Harley Davidson. No, they get it because it's an obsession. Sola says Frank Muller was my favorite audiobook reader. Oh, so you know the person by name. Must be a really well-known one. And Travis says Marek is now 10 months old and crawling around like crazy. I bet Marek is smiling every day. Marek. Let me have a look. Where am I? Why am I here? I think I just stitched the wrong stitch. Oh, yes, I have. No, 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 no. I'm correct. I'm correct. I know what I'm doing. Yes. I'm moving over here. Beautiful. And Alisa says, Marek did a little crawl on Travis's live earlier today. So Marek is being featured on live stream instead of a Dolly. You know, Travis Travis is a Marek as a stitching buddy. That's lovely. I have to go and have a look. Alisa says there's nothing like a baby giggles. I know. It must be a adventure every day when you have a young baby. When they do something new, it's like going, oh my God. Uh, that one. Nice. I'm going to focus on this area a little bit. Heather says there are two apps called Hoopla and Canopy, where you can rent movies and TV shows from our library. Really? They do like movies as well. Wow, things have moved on a lot. I'm still stuck in the idea that you just go to library and try to be very quiet and get a library card. It's probably nowadays it's probably all digital now on an app. You just scan it. Because the last time I actually borrowed from books from library was probably when I was back in college. We had a library in a college, in our college, and it's full of art books. They're quite expensive to buy, so it's quite nice. You can borrow them, but I always so nervous. I didn't want to spill coffee on it. I was so worried about losing them. If there's anything physical, you can just lose it or break it for some reason. 1, 2. Now you're getting me excited. My local library. And this one, 902. 902. Ginny says that there are a lot of motorcycle companies. India might be the one you're thinking of. Yamaha, Suzuki, BMW, Kawasaki. But those sound Japanese to me. I don't know Indian. They make motorcycles. Why is that though? Is there a big biking culture in India? India is not a country that I think of. I think, oh, a lot of bikers. That's very interesting, but they don't ring a bell. I'm pretty sure there's another brand. Oh dear. Think, bikers, think. There must be another brand. I will recognize it when I hear it. Lola says Bugatti. So Yamaha I'm aware of, but Yamaha is more like a general motorcycle. Motorcycle brand. But I think the brand I'm thinking about is more like Harley Davidson. They specialize in heavy bikes. And the reason I remember is because this bloke was mentioning the brand all the time. So it kind of stuck in my head. But not enough for me to remember the name. So Harley Davidson, I'm guessing, is American, right? Is it American? Oh, crafty tabby cat. That sounds a little bit closer. I think it sounded either American or Italian. Ducati. It could be that, Is it Italian? Solar says it makes sense for the Indian motor bike to be a rival of Harley because it's also American made. Oh, the Indian ones. But they're American made? Lona says, my husband rode his Harley Davidson to work. Yes, but Lona, he's just a show-off. It's like people driving their Rolls Royce, just go, hey, I'm just commuting. Show off. I'm sure they're functional as well, but I'm sure, if you want a functional for commuting, people probably buy more, like regular bikes. and probably cheaper as well. All right, let me come over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One stitch at a time, seriously. It's so applicable with this piece. So Janine, so what about your husband? Janine says, I wish I had Harley, but hubby won't let me get one. Has he got Harley himself? So both of you, I presume both of you ride bicycles. Not bicycles, motorbikes. Do not tell me he's got Harley and will not let you have one. Oh, Yogi's gonna get really mad. Cindy says Triumph. No, if it's Triumph, I think it's Ducati might be very close. I remember it sounded a little bit Italian. Is it a big brand though, Ducati? Heather House says, when I was young, I had a hot boyfriend, not husband. Oh dear, do cover the husband's ears, guys, Heather. La 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 la. Heather says, I had a hot boyfriend, but not hobby, with Harley. He was so much fun. You know, guys, I dated this guy. He was Italian, and he was also a born-again Christian. Oh my God, this guy has got a story. Okay, he was a biker, and he looked like a young David Bowie. Okay, so he's very good looking, and really hot. Yes, not Mr. Yogi, not Mr. Yogi. Mr. Yogi is really hot as well. If he's listening, okay, no problem there with the hotness. But and this guy was Italian. I can't remember where he was from. Maybe Milan. Yes, he was from Milan, and he was in London, and he was obsessed with motorbikes, and he's got a parrot called Rose. Okay, and I met him at Camden Market. If you've been to London, you know where it is. That's the kind of place, if you want to meet a biker, that's the place you go, okay? If you want to meet a very unconventional person as boyfriend, that's where you hang out. So I met him at Camden, okay? And he was heavily on sort of with a motorbike and everything. And I told him, I'm afraid of it. I would not ever get on his motorbike. So he turned it into his mission to get me on his motorbike. And I was terrified. And but he was also a born-again Christian. Okay, so he's got this story because he was quite young, and it's quite unusual for a very young person to suddenly go, hey, I believe in God, you know. And he was very, very religious, very, very religious. He goes, you know, he will mention God like every every few sentences. I don't know how I live with that, okay, but he was very good looking. So maybe I put up with a little bit more. And he told me the story, okay, guys. This is the story, how he became born-again Christian. Okay, so he was in London as a young Italian and trying to find his way, okay? And let me take a sip of my coffee. It's a great story. And let me just take a sip. So he was in London. He was, I think it was around, he was in, doing work in a Camden area already, maybe doing a part-time job, something, you know, for vendors and stuff like that. And he didn't have bikes at that time, okay? He was totally broke. And to the point that one day he realized he did not have money to even go anywhere. I think he was so broke or something like that. I'm trying to recall a story. Maybe I butchered it. Something like that. He was desperate in the situation, you know, just totally broke. He didn't know what to do, where to go. And he was in Camden at that time, and he was trying to describe what route he took. He was describing there was a back street that he walked down. He just heard he heard a voice. When he was totally desperate, he didn't know what to do. He wanted to call his family in Italy, but he didn't have money. Okay, and then he heard this voice saying to him, saying, okay, his name is Enrico. Okay, it's just a few years, it's been a long time. I'm sure he's not watching. He heard this voice, and this voice told him to walk down a very specific street, and he was told, because he wanted to call his parents, okay, but international call, really expensive, and we're talking about times when there was still public phones, like, I know if you're under 20, you don't know what I'm talking about, but there used to be phone booths on the street that you can just call and put a coin inside, like 10p or whatever. And this voice told him to walk down the street and turn, like left or right, let's say turn right. There's a phone booth, a phone box, and you go there, and the phone, you can pick up the phone, and then you can call your family. That's what he heard. He heard that, and out of desperation at that time, he just did it. He followed the voice. He found the phone box. He walked in, picked up the phone with no money. Okay, this is the key. With no money, he made the phone call, and he called his family, and he got help. That was his story. From then on, he believed that voice was from God. I don't know how he determined that. He just decided that was Jesus or whatever, that he, the top guy basically go, Enrico, go down this route and pick up the phone. Then the phone just connects. That was it. And he did it. He called his family, he got help, and from that day he became a born again Christian. And I didn't think he had reasons to lie to me, because it was very unusual for someone so young to be so religious. He was just like praising the God every 3 sentences. And so I believed him. I believe something happened to him that convinced him there's a higher power. I believe there's a higher power anyway. Not necessarily, help me with phone calls, but yes, I believe there's a higher power. But for him, it was specifically Christianity. So he became born again Christian. So that was the Enrico the biker story. That's it. Ginny says hubby doesn't have a motorcycle but wants one. Oh, so he hasn't got one, but he got you one. Okay, he's forgiven. And so who is into bikes first? Is that you? And he just wanted to join in. Ginny says he hadn't ridden for a long time and likes riding ATVs more. I don't know what that is. What's ATV? More, which I don't like. And he won't get me a Harley because it's air cooled. I have no idea what that means, but maybe it's more dangerous. And Michelle says, what a great story. I'm sure he felt something that no one can explain. I know. And he just became totally sold to the religion. And so it was quite a contrast, because on the surface, you look at him, he looked like some sort of, David Bowie lookalike, riding a heavy bike. But at the same time, he goes to church every Sunday and he prays all the time. So at that time, I kind of didn't get it at all, and kind of just put up with it. But for him, it was very, very profound. And I think for a lot of people who have that sort of epiphany when it comes to spiritual awakening, into a religion, sometimes it may not be religion. I think for me, it was more of realizing there's something bigger. And I never really follow any religion. It's just never really my kind of language, for me, it's more of the bigger things. I know it's up there. I know I'm part of that thing, but it's not in the form of a god or anything like that. It was just, the universe. So I think, we all have our own interpretation of what it is. You see if I can pick this one correctly. Yes, 2 over there, 2 over there. Ginny says, ATV are those four-wheelers. They ride in woods. Oh, like quad bikes. Like a big wheels, like, I don't know, not that I know anything about vehicles, okay, so bear with me. Ginny says, I don't like woods. I have motorbikes before, so I'm trying to get him to ride again. But the thing is that those four-wheelers, they're not motorbikes anymore, and they're less practical because you want something that you can kind of go places easily, not just in the woods, right? Crafty Tabby Cat says, Indian motorcycle is an American. Oh, right. So the brand is called Indian motorcycle. It's not made in India. As in American India. American Indian. Oh, I get it. I was thinking India, the country. Because India doesn't strike me as a big, country as big motorbike culture. Right, so the name is called Indian motorcycle. Right, so it's American brand. I get it now. It's a different Indian. And see you later. See you later, Alyssa. Enjoy your time. And we will see you soon. Hopefully you can drop in to say hello tomorrow for our marathon. Ginny says my husband will be happy being a mountain man. Not happening. So you have to, so those big wheelers, four-wheelers, you can only ride them in the wood. So how do you get a car to the wood? Do you have to live in the wood to be able to use something like that? It doesn't sound very practical. Hey, Central Plain Garden says hi again to you. Welcome. I'm just going back the comments a little bit. Lona says Harley Davidson was founded in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay, so Harley Davidson is firmly American. Yes, it's biker culture, very much American. Lynn Burgess, hello, I nearly missed your comment. Lynn says, hi, Yogi. Didn't realize you stream on Fridays. Are you okay? Yes, Yogi is fine. Lynn, great to see you, Lynn Burgess. And yes, Fridays are back for us, Lynn. So I'm sure from time to time, I will probably need to work in the evenings, but Fridays are back. So we get to hang out. And Lynn, we have a marathon tomorrow. Are you joining us? You have to. So we're doing the pre-marathon warm-up, okay? This is what we're doing here. 1, 2. That one is done. 1, 2. I'm just warming up the my little hands. You know, see if I can you know, get Yomari here for my marathon session. It's unpredictable, you know, with a superpower. Lona says, Yogi, I just returned 2 books back to Mum's library today. I checked them out and got on Amazon and bought them. Ah, they're cross-stitch books. So you had kind of a trial period with the library books. They have cross-stitch books in your library. Whoa. Okay. So you borrowed 2 books about cross-stitching and you love them so much you went and buy them on Amazon. I wonder if the library can get commission. They should. They're basically giving people free trial for books. That's lovely. That's wonderful. Cross-stitching books. What do they say in books? I don't think I ever read a cross-stitching book. Do they teach how to cross-stitch? So this one's 902. 902. Oh, so beautiful, these colors. Heather says there's an excellent movie called The Last Indian about a man pursuing a land speed record on his bike, starring Anthony Hopkins. Oh, right. It's called what? It's called Last Indian. If I saw the title, I'd probably thinking it's about historical events about American Indian. Wow. So it's about a man pursuing. Is it factual? Is it based on real story? It sounds like it could be. And Anthony Hopkins, he's the guy in Silence of the Lamb, isn't it? Anthony Hopkins is a great actor. I didn't know he did a movie like that, but then again, he's been around for a long time, so he's done a lot. And Central Plain says, marathon tomorrow, maybe I can lurk and cross stitch tomorrow. Gonna be like 100+ degree, not gonna be doing much. Yes, you can just join in, dip in and out and make sure you're nice and cool. Yes, definitely. So tomorrow is actually, we have a Christmas in July theme, okay? But even if you're not stitching Christmas piece, of course you can lurk and join in, doing whatever you want. And we're going to be stitching for 10 hours, okay? We don't joke around with marathons. We do it properly. Lola says, Yogi, they're full of cross-stitch patterns. Really? In books? Wow. That sounds lovely. I used to have subscription of a magazine called Molly Makes, which is a British one. I hope they're still around. I used to have a digital subscription of them, and it's got all sorts. So Molly Makes is about crafts, but focus on embroidery, knitting, and some sewing as well, the popular crafts that people do. And sometimes they have really lovely cross-stitching patterns, mostly kind of small, non-full coverage ones, but they're so cute. And those were the ones I mostly stitched back then. Small designs like a cupcake and that kind of stuff, like a handbag. You know what I mean. Very different kind of cross stitching. Lynn Burgess says, yes, Yogi, I have a new start for Christmas to join the marathon. Wonderful. Yay, Lynn. I'd love to find out tomorrow which one you're doing. Excellent. New start is exciting, isn't it? Heather says the movie is a true story. Yes, it sounds like it's a true story. And I'm not going to ask for the spoiler, okay? Like asking, did he break the record? You watch the movie. Oh dear, I created a little boxed in stitch without knowing. I was wondering what this is. I just kept stitching. I ended up with a little boxed in stitch. Oh, very naughty, very naughty. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to cover the crime scene quickly. I'm not supposed to be doing this because boxed in stitches like this is quite hard to get a needle in. So I'm going to cover it up quickly and pretend that it never happened. Okay, 4, 3, 4. I think sometimes when you're not fully focused, you just start cross country. Lynn says Yogi is going to get hot today again next week. I know. I checked the temperature. I mean, today is already gradually the temperature is going up. Last couple of days, few days, they were a little bit cooler. Okay, maybe around 25-ish. Today again, we're about 28. At this moment, I'm not sweating just yet. Not too bad at this moment, but tomorrow is going to be 28, 29 as well. And we're starting in the afternoon, so it's going to be quite hot. And yeah, maybe not 35, 36 degree hot, but it's going to be quite warm. So I'm bracing myself for that. Oh, see, this is tricky when you try to stitch a boxed in stitch with this piece. See, I've just done first leg already. It's very hard to tell what's happening. And very easily you miss the second leg. Can happen. Oh, that looks a little bit funky. It's okay. I've covered a crime scene, okay? Never happened. Never happened. Lynn says, Yogi, Women's Weekly magazine used to have a nice cross-stitch pattern. Women's Weekly, are they still around, I wonder, for, that sort of women-only magazine? It sounds very retro. I mean, there are some, gender-specific magazines, right? Like for men, there's Men's Health, and fashion magazines. Even they don't specifically say it's for women only, but most fashion magazines are probably targeting a woman. And do people still buy magazines? I wonder. Let me pick the next one. Okay, I've covered the crime scenes, gone. And I'm going to pick this one, 902. 902. Yes, tomorrow's theme is Christmas in July. I mean, last year we didn't start Christmas stitching until October. So, you know, it was great fun, but at the same time, it felt slightly rushed because, you know, 2 months of stitching, unless you do it every day, you know, like we only did once a week. You just felt like you couldn't get much done, you know, for 2 weeks. It's like 8 sessions, which is nothing for a project like that. Heather says, my library has Women's Weekly. You mean like older copies? Or do they still do it? I think, you know, back in maybe 50s, 60s, I think I remember seeing a documentary pretty much. Not YouTube videos. I think a documentary on TV that was ages ago. They tried to revive a women's magazine. I can't remember what it's called, the British ones. It's called something like maybe Good Housewife or something like that. Slightly triggering title nowadays. Maybe Good Housewife or something like that. I can't remember. And there was a documentary about this person. I think it's Boris Johnson's sister, if I remember correctly. Boris Johnson's sister is actually working in publishing. I mean, Boris Johnson was coming from publishing. You know, he was a editor-in-chief for, is it Telegraph or something? And so his sister, who looked spitting image of him, who was blonde, super blonde, like a female version of him, she was hired to revive this, you know, really retro women's magazine. But that was years ago when I watched it, so I don't know what happened to that. Lona says, I buy quoting and cross-stitch magazines sometimes. So you probably buy the physical copies, right? Yes. Well, the thing with digital copies is, you know, even years later, as long as you have the documents. I'm trying to think, because I had quite a few years of subscription of Molly Makes. They were through the company's app, and I think the apps may not be there, so I might not have access to them. I wonder. I have not looked for ages. But that's the problem. If you know, if it's not a PDF, it means that you could lose the copies. Heather says new copies every month, so it's still going strong. Women's Weekly. So hang on. Heather, if it's weekly, why is there only one copy each month? Or new copies each month? So does that mean there are 4 copies a month if it's a weekly? And what do they talk about? What should we do as women? Are they guidelines? To have weekly magazines is quite intense, isn't it? It's a lot to do to have weekly magazine. I worked in publishing as a designer briefly when I first started, and oh dear, they were still doing the old-fashioned way. They having like you know, mock-ups, not digital mock-ups, but mock-ups like A4 sheets, like magazine size sheets on the walls from page 1 to the last page, literally. And they have this big wall of all the pages they're working on. And there's a lot. It was a monthly magazine, but still a lot of work. So I can't imagine weekly. It's going to be really intense. I just remember that big wall with all the pages. Rachel says Women's Circle. Oh, do you mean the British one? Oh, Lona says Good Housekeeping magazine were popular in America. Is that a British one? I'm sure there's something to do with housewife or housekeeping. Sounds really sort of retro. I was just thinking, oh, that sounds a little bit, dangerous. Say women should be housekeepers. Maybe it was Housekeeping magazine. I remember this very sort of family-oriented, sort of housewife central. Heather says whenever new magazines come out, they're available. Wow. So it must be a reasonable size of readership, demands there, because magazines, people are reading less anyway, because people, well, maybe before internet, people had to rely on publications like books and magazines to gain information. But a lot of what the magazines they're offering, we can get it easily, via Google, via different platforms, YouTube. So the need of buying a magazine and sit down and read it is just diminishing. Okay, let me see if I can park it anywhere. No, literally. Actually, there are 2 stitches here in the next block. Literally here. 1, 2. Right here, I can park. Now it's looking good because the whole blob here wasn't here before. This is all new. This whole blob. Heather says they have a lot of craft and cross-stitch magazines too. I think that's really handy, isn't it? Because, cross-stitching and craft magazines, it's timeless. It doesn't matter if it's a brand new issue or if it came out 5 years ago. Because the content is kind of timeless. It doesn't matter. It's not time sensitive. So I think they're great as, to borrow from a library. That is so cute. It's a little birdie. And this is a coat hanger, okay? So I'm working with it. And there's another bird on the right side here. Okay, 3858. I'm just double checking the color. It looks a little bit different. 3858. 3858. Yep, it's fine. It looks a little bit lighter than my swatch, but there's something about a physical magazine, I have to say, particularly craft magazines. It's like a book of secrets, like little recipes inside that, just by, using that information, you can create really interesting things. You know what I mean? It's a little bit like cookbooks. And cookbooks, cooking recipes, essentially, they're just secret formulas that, you can have. As long as you have the ingredients, you can produce that food. And it's fascinating, isn't it? Because it's all about the knowledge. If you have the knowledge and you have the ingredients, you can create that thing. And I think for cross-stitching patterns as well, or any form of patterns, you just need that formula. And it's timeless. You can, I think cross-stitching patterns, as long as you have the threads and the fabric, it doesn't matter if a chart is created 50 years ago or yesterday. Doesn't matter, right? Okay, I am going to fill up this area. 738, 738. Ginny says, I still have a lot of cross-stitch gold magazines. I think the magazine was from England, and that's where I first saw anything full coverage. Really? In a magazine, full coverage? And still little sample, but full coverage. Interesting. I don't remember. So it's called cross-stitch gold. I think there are a lot of craft magazines over here, with knitting, a lot of knitting magazines, a lot of, I think quite a few cross-stitching magazines. I never bought them because some of them look slightly childlike, like they're just so, like super simple. And sometimes the patterns I'm not really into. So I never really bought cross-stitching magazines as such. I bought a lot of knitting magazines though, digitally as well, mostly digitally, and also Molly Crafts as well, which is general crafting magazines, not just stitching. But interesting, they have full coverage. I never come across full coverage patterns on craft magazines. Most of the times they're kind of little ones, kind of for you to dip into, simple ones to do. And I pick the next one. Oh, I picked the wrong one completely. It's this one. Gayla, hello. Gayla, have you just joined us, or are you off? Hello. Gayla says, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And you too, Gayla, whatever you do. Lindsay says 820s was so pretty. The last color. There are a lot of really pretty colors here. They're just so rich. And the combination here is just so pretty. Look at this. Even this area is full of little, color changes. It just makes the whole thing so beautiful. I mean, when this piece is finished, at some point, before the apocalypse, okay, hopefully, it's going to be gorgeous. I think if I get to finish this one, I will frame it. I think it's just something that's really pretty to look at. I think full size is probably too big. to frame. But with this one, it's kind of doable size. Lindsay says it's the color I'm using right now. Really? Are we having a spooky bingo? Oh, you have to call out if you're having a spooky bingo with Yogi, okay? And that's when you are stitching the same color as me. You need to shout really loud and go, spooky bingo! So we know. One stitch. And it's such a treat when you're working on a piece. I mean, that's pretty much, I have to say that to every single piece, because if I choose a piece, I love the colors. But sometimes you have, you know, areas they're working on. Maybe, you know, it's not not particularly that sort of, you know, pretty, shall I say. But when you are working at a piece like this, is everywhere you turn, it's just so beautiful. It's such a treat for the eyes as well. I don't feel like I'm cross-stitching. I feel like I'm doing some sort of tapestry work. And this one, 550. Only one stitch. Yes, Lindsay, spooky bingo, guys. Can you guys support Lindsay by flashing your spooky bingo card, please, for Lindsay? Maybe it's the first one. And it's the first one today. Well done, Lindsay. Happy spooky bingo to you. Rachel, I'm so envious that you have these kitties. Rachel says these crazy kittens are chasing each other around in the room. Lightning speed. They're so athletic. Young kittens. Oh, there you go, Lindsay. These are for you, okay? From our Lona, from our Janine, and Rachel as well, and Jojo. There you go. They're for you. Celebration. Solar is gone. It's gone rogue. Yes, there you go, spooky bingo. Because this is the only one we've got today, right? We need to celebrate it. It might be the only one, so let's enjoy the moments. Because sometimes, you know, when I have part threads, sometimes I forget to call out the numbers. But this one I've got, I can park below. I know. It's nice to have a spooky bingo because I feel like you are stitching together, aren't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 here. Solar. Yes. Oh, yes, Rachel has posted a video. Should we have a look? Should we have a little kitten break? Let me see if I can find it. Sometimes it doesn't come up. I'd love to see how these little kittens are doing. Where's the video? Let's have a look. Oh my God, guys. Are you ready, guys? If you have soft spots for kittens, okay, this is gonna do it. You're gonna melt into marshmallow. Okay, hang on. Let me just bring on. Oh my God, dear, have a look. Let me just start from the beginning. Guys, are you ready for some kitten action? These are Rachel's kittens. Oh my God. They're bulking up a little bit. That's so lovely. They are gaining weight. Oh man. They are going to be best friends for the rest of their life. There's sounds as well, my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's a little meow. Guys, have you all melted into marshmallows? I have. Oh my God. Thank you, Rachel. Such a treat. Look at them. I'm going to just have it in the background, in a loop for eternity. They're so gorgeous. Look at the little belly. Look at the little belly. A little meow as well. And I love the fact they love each other, because not all kittens from the same litter, they bond with each other. Not necessarily. But, oh, those two, they love each other. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's on our Facebook group. If you want to watch it in an endless loop, you could do it, which is what I would do. Thank you, Rachel. And it's so wonderful to look at their progress as well, isn't it? It's just like so wonderful. And Lindsay says, I always wonder what spooky bingo was. I thought you were all crazy, Halloween obsessed. And the first time you said it was working on a grandmom's piece. Yes, this is spooky bingo. You have just experienced it. The first one, when you're stitching the same thread as me. And thank you, Rajao, as well, and Jojo. Rachel says, turn up the volume. It's too late. I heard it. A little meow. Oh, they're so adorable. Man. Clara says, Chiviz has a live today at 6:30 after Yogi stream. She's Moon Faces. Oh, she's the one. She's the one that's doing the monochrome piece. I think, was it, who was it? Someone's dad, Matt, who was somebody's dad. Sorry, I got my names mixed up. Ace, is it Ace's mom? Ace's mom, Ace's dad. You know who I'm talking about, Matt. Okay, our gentleman stitcher. I think he's doing that piece as well. So maybe monochrome moon stitching is a little bit more popular than we think. I know, so cute, isn't it? Yes. So Chiviz is streaming afterwards. Central Plain says, I'm never stitching when you're live and miss the spooky bingos. Oh, right. So, but here you are. Oh, so you're not stitching right now, are you? Yes, it's nice. It's really lovely to have a spooky bingo. A lot of times we have 310 spooky bingo, but it's so nice to have other colors because it feels like there's a synchronization that's going on with stitchers and Yogi. So it's lovely. Oh, those kittens, seriously. If I had them, right here, I'd never leave the house. I just find all sorts of excuses, just stay home. All my students will be waiting. And I'll go, I'm having headaches. I'll pull sickies for them just to stay home with them. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Okay, so this one, 902. 902. I know, cuteness overload. Can you imagine having Travis's, have Marek and little kittens together in one video? Oh no, we're gonna break the internet. Lona says, Bilbo Baggins, Almost Home, and Aspen Archer from Hade. They were monochrome patterns. I think there must be like a genre that people like. For some reason, there's something free about just stitching black and white pieces. I bet it's kind of a thing, right? Janine says, I've only spooky bingo once. Janine, you need to try harder, okay? You need to stitch more. Having like, 200 webs already, surely you're going to have a spooky bingo with Yogi at some point. I think you have a better chance if you're stitching the same piece together. So let's say if we're doing a sao and stitching the same piece, a lot of times we travel in library, because a lot of you are stitching at the same time, and it's more likely to come up with most of the time probably 310, but a lot of burgundy colors of that and browns. Lindsay says, once I get one of Nora, which is who is Lindsay's baby. Nora's belly laughs. On recording, I'll have a upload for a bit of joy. Yeah, that'll be lovely. There's nothing better than, kitties rolling over with each other and babies laughing. Yes, that would cheer everybody up. Central is cooking dinner. Yes. Yes. A lot of our stitchers watching us while getting on, other tasks they have to do in life. Sometimes work, sometimes chores. Well, cooking is fun. So I hope you enjoy it. I wonder what you're cooking though. We're interested in food. Normally at this point of the live stream, we start talking about food. And Rachel says Carson, which is the boy. So the two kittens, one is a girl, one's the boy, right? Carson's the boy. Rachel says Carson has this thing now when he dips his paws into the water dish and splash it everywhere. Dolly does that even now. So it's getting better. Now I have the water bowl, one on the inside, but I have the water bowl on the outside as well for the squirrels and the birds. But Dolly would go and start splashing the water. And I looked up on Google to figure out why some cats do that. I think they're just fascinated by the water. They want to play. That's one reason. But also sometimes they want to gauge the depths of the water before they drink it. They want to test it to see where the water level is before they drink it. So Dolly does that as well. And she just doesn't get bored. She just loves it. So it's much better when I have a water bowl outside. Lona says, Yogi, you could teach the kittens yoga. Well, I think kittens, they know how to do yoga. Just look at their stretches. They don't do downward dog, but they do kitty belly up, which is a new pose. They invented Dolly's belly up all the time. Ah, so they're getting the shots as well, Rachel. Wonderful. Jeanine, do not hide. You probably have a lot more webs than you let off. I know it. All the secret stamp kits that you've got. Okay, so here, have I done this one? No, it's this one I want. And this literally just one stitch. 729. 729. One stitch? Serious? Jojo's making zucchini fritter tonight for snacks tomorrow. That's very sophisticated. Zucchini fritters. You know, sometimes when you go to Italian restaurants, you can have zucchini flour, deep fried. You know, they dip in batter and then fry them lightly, so crunchy. But I love zucchini fritters. I love it. I always order it when I go to Italian restaurants. Really delicious and freshly fried as well. You know, you don't want the batter to get soggy. That's the key. Lindsay is having a chocolate break. Oh, you didn't join earlier. Yes, you're allowed to have chocolate break anytime. We're taking snacking very seriously, okay? It has to be done. And get your snacks ready for tomorrow. Just one stitch. Seven, 2, and 9. Right, so it's 20 past 12, okay? And, you know, we have our marathon tomorrow, so I won't stay up for too late, okay? So I'm going to pick one more color. And I know which one I'm going to pick. And this is going to be my final color here, okay? Ginny says, I got a water bowl that has a bottle top upside down and fills with bowl automatically. Oh, right, like those water machines, water tanks. So she says, I don't have to clean up water off the floor anymore. That's very clever. That's very clever, particularly if you have, so you just fill up the tank. So it's a little bit like those office water machines sometimes you get. Okay, this is my last color, which is a sandy brown, 436. And these are, I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. Travis says cross-leg cat pose. Do they cross legs? I think they just have belly up, legs up. Reverse tabletop. How's that? So tabletop is when you come on the knees and hands under the shoulders, you know, like, and flat back like tabletop. Reverse tabletop is what Dolly does. She would go on her back and legs up, forelegs up like a tabletop. So that's a new pose, reverse tabletop. It's actually a yoga pose, but it looks different. Dolly does it. Sola says, guys, if you're in Central Time, our marathon starts at 8 a.m. Oh, nice and early. Yes, that's the kind of, you know, dedication we need. Get up at 8 a.m. and join yogi, okay? Let's start together and see if we can end together. How's that? I want to see how many of you are going to be there with me for the entire duration, okay? And I'm going to need names afterwards. No pressure, okay? You can. I think you're allowed to take a nap, okay? You're allowed to have a nap break, whatever break that you need in between. So, Lindsay says, I have put the stitching away to have a game of Valorant. Oh, it's the name of the game. And yes, have a lovely rest. I mean, Lindsay, isn't that wonderful? You are doing all the things you enjoy and you have your baby with you, right? You do your stitching, you have the chat, and then you play some games, which is you love as well. So it's wonderful. It's a great life. Great life. Central Plain says 7 a.m. I won't get up in the garden until it's too hard to cross stitch time. Yes, you know, you find your ways. When there's a will, there's a way. And this will be my last stitch tonight before our marathon. Oh, I've got a bug flying around. Okay. You can always tell when it's getting warm when we get a lot of flying creatures randomly just come out. All right, guys, have a look at this. I'm really happy. I'm really enjoyed it. It's such a feast for the eyes. And of course, I am going to share with you my stitch count, okay? But first of all, let's review the situation. So have a look. So today, let me zoom out just a little bit there. So this piece, I started from upper left corner and working nice and slowly, but steadily, and enjoy every stitching. Jojo says mountain time, 7 a.m. You can get up, okay, for Saturday. You have Sunday to catch up with the sleep, okay, and afterwards. And so nice and stable, steady. I've been following the diagonal line roughly, traveling not too far away. Just make sure that I don't get lost. And this is what I've done today. So there's a little bit more under the bird here. So I'm really, really happy. And let me show you my app here. Okay, I'm going to share with you my stitch count. So let me just turn this one off. And my iPad is, my app view is working quite well today. It hasn't frozen today. So there you go, guys. This is where I am with this piece. Ciro Marchetti's The Old Craft Room. It's a mini version, okay? And guys, are you ready? I don't think Yomari's here today, okay? Let's face it. Let's be, practical and honest about it. I don't think Yomari's today. No mutation, okay, today with the Pokemon situation. But let's have a look. I'm curious, okay? And I'm gonna count down to 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Wow, a very solid 170. Yay! This piece, it's famous for the 60 stitch gate that happened once, that I stitched for 3-4 hours and ended up with 60 stitches. Okay, so I'm doing quite well today. I'm doing more than double, of that number, maybe triple, right? So really, really happy with the result. One stitch at a time. This piece really requires a methodical method to do. So I'm very, very happy. And currently I'm 4.79%, and maybe on to 5% very soon. Thank you, Lona, and for the round of applause. And guys, I hope you enjoy your session today. I definitely did. And we're warming up for tomorrow's marathon. Okay, so tomorrow is Christmas in July, coming early. And we're going to kick off our festive stitching. So come join me. And I hope to see you tomorrow. And we're stitching for 10 hours. So catch ups whenever you can. And maybe some of you are going to stay with me. And Ciro, who knows? Janine says Yomari left the building today. I don't think Yomari was ever in the building today, let's face it. Yomari needs to take a break sometimes. And thank you guys for your support. And I'll see you tomorrow from the sleepy London town. And it's 12:30 UK time. And Yogi signing out. I know it's looking gorgeous, isn't it? And I'll see you tomorrow with the Christmas piece. And come join me. See you tomorrow. Night night, everyone. Bye bye.